Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. But more importantly, I say to you, Blue Morning, because of course it is the Blue Morning Show. Today, as usual, because it's a transfer period, it's the silly season period, we have quite a lot to talk about. We'll talk about the Ronaldo rumors, we'll talk about Raphinha, we'll talk about Hakim Ziyech, the lead, Raheem Sterling, imminent move to Chelsea Football Club, and all the players that are linked with the club. And then also we'll try to build the lineup that we've built halfway. And remember, the promise is that the lineup will be dynamic. We'll make changes as things progress in the transfer window, as we get a clearer picture of what the club, the business as a club, is doing in the market. We will make adjustment according to that. And today I will try a new format today. I will bring in people, I'll be having just 2 people on the panel until halfway through the show. I will accommodate 6 people when we start building the lineup. That way it will be much more organized. But in some days, I will always have 6 people from start to the end. But on Sundays, I will be making it 1 person at a time. That's 2 panelists at a time. Now, let's get into the show. As usual, I will start by going through the chat to say hello to the people there. I said the tradition here on a Chelsea perspective. Here we have Phantom of Many Topics says he is the first to like the video. Congratulations to you. This time you did not just make it to the Champions League, you also won the league. So congratulations to you, Phantom. And he says here again, I will be playing for Fulham as a loanee. Again, we'll see what happens. A Blue Morning, Coachila, panel and chat. Liam, how are you doing, brother? I do hope things are well with you and your family, and I sincerely do hope so. Big up to you, my brother, Almighty Blues FC. Again, if you haven't, I know we don't have too many people watching at this point, but if you haven't, please take a second to go check out his channel, and believe me, you will like his content, and do let him know I sent you when you subscribe. Up the Chelsea, yes, up the Chelsea indeed. A Blue Morning, everyone. Blue Morning to you too, Titux, my brother and a friend. Please go check out his channel also. I will still, shout him out when we have a lot of people watching. I hope that happens again today. Let's all hit the like button. Yes, we have 12 likes at the moment, while we'll have 26 people watching. We can do better than that. So keep liking the video. And again, I will keep repeating myself. I'd rather you like the videos than donate to the channel. There are other ways the channel can make money. Again, your likes will do more to the channel than the donations. Again, thank you for all the support. We're getting closer and closer to 4,000 subscribers, and I know we'll get there in a few days if we continue this way. Tend to like, your mid-table, Ty. You should do better. Good morning, Coachila, Sergej Ba. Nice to see you. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well, brother. Yes, people, keep liking the video. And I want to say hello immediately to my brother, who is the first panelist to join me today. Like I said, I'll be keeping it just 2 panelists until halfway through the show, and it will be like that every Sunday. It's an experimental approach. Let's see how that works out, but I know it will be good. Tobago, welcome to the channel today. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Brilliant. I can't complain. As long as it's life, there's hope. And again, any day above 6 feet, it's a blessing. I'm going to start with you immediately. And if you are in the chat, if you have any question for us, please shoot, and we will try to address it. I want us to talk about the rumors that Todd Boehly had spoken with the Ronaldo camp. That's even before we're hearing right now that he's asked to leave Manchester United. Now, the rumors are his agent, I've forgotten his name, Mendes or something, that he's trying to push it to. We're one of the clubs, including Napoli, we're one of the clubs that he's trying to push Ronaldo to. Your thoughts on that rumor?
I think the rumors is real because, remember, from the start, they said Todd Boehly wants to get a marquee signing. Yes, Ronaldo is 37 years old, but he could be a marquee signing because he's a world-class player. So He will make the club brand bigger by selling T-shirts of CR7. So we'll wait and see. But I'm not up to this signing. If we are really linked to him, I'm not up to getting Cristiano Ronaldo.
Mhm. Here's why I believed it in the first place. Not right now, immediately. When it was first talked about, I believed it because Todd Boehly is profit focused. Yes, Ronaldo is in a very high wage, but if he can accommodate his wage and make the money from shirt sales and all the, he makes. I think there's a term Todd Boehly used for it, but what makes me not think that it will not happen is this is the fact that we heard, and again that story also we're hearing from journalists that he said he's not going to sign any player except a players that Thomas Tuchel wants. You get the point now. And I do not think Thomas Tuchel would want to have Cristiano Ronaldo in the Chelsea dressing room. Again, he's a good player and he still can get it done. But my issue with him coming to Chelsea Football Club is this: he's always been the main guy wherever he goes. At Manchester United, even before he left for Real Madrid. At Real Madrid, the whole thing was, the team was built around him. At Manchester United, the same thing. At Juventus, that wasn't really the case, and you could argue that was the reason why he decided, to leave the way he did. It wasn't all about him. Juventus was trying to build a team, and now at Manchester United, also, I think it wasn't really all about him, but he tried. If you paid attention to what was going on there, it seemed as if he tried to make it all about him, and it didn't work like that. Ty, you hold on a bit until Tobago leaves, and I'll bring you in. It will be two panelists at a time on Sundays until halfway through the show. That's around 1 hour, 30 minutes before I bring more people in. So, Tobago, your thoughts on what I just explained?
Yes, you're right. Cristiano Ronaldo always want to be the main man, and then if he doesn't feel like he's a main man, he will cause
Mm-hmm.
trouble. And again, Cristiano Ronaldo going to Manchester United, um, hindered on some players' development. Just like, for example, Rashford, he wasn't used that much. Greenwood, before the lot of troubles and stuff, he felt that he won't get enough game time, and also that signing made Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job to be a threat if he doesn't perform with Cristiano Ronaldo. So also
Mm-hmm.
at Chelsea, we had an issue with that with Lukaku being wanted to be a main man. So him coming to Chelsea might cause us a lot of trouble. And yes, we might be linked to him because as for now we are linked to everyone, but we are not sure who will we get soon. So we'll wait and see.
Yeah, again, like Ty Talks would say, the man syndrome was one of Romelu Lukaku's biggest problems at Chelsea. I know most people don't look at it that way. Again, I'd say, yeah, I don't think it's something I would want to happen at Chelsea Football Club. And the truth is, I don't think Thomas Tuchel would want that himself. He's been in a team where he had two superstars, he could phrase it that way, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to handle. Again, it looks like because I did not announce this rule on time, I think I may have to bring on more people for today. What do you think, Tobago? Let's go for it.
No,
Welcome,
no
Louisa. How are
problem,
you
no
doing in
problem,
Titux?
bro.
How are you doing? I'm going to break the rules today, but next Sunday I'm going to keep it two panelists at a time until halfway through the show. Louisa, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm brilliant. I can't complain. And nice to have you back on the panel. It's been a while. It looks like you've been very busy. Ty, how about you? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just here.
Brilliant, brilliant. Luisa, let me start with you. Your thoughts on the links, the rumors that Chelsea are looking, let me phrase, yeah, because some people are saying like that Chelsea are looking, or maybe Ronaldo's agent is trying to push Ronaldo to Chelsea. And the rumors that Todd Boehly had a meeting with his camp. Is he a player you would want to see at Chelsea? If yes, why? If no, tell us why.
Absolutely not. If it was up to me, I don't think I really want to see Ronaldo at Chelsea because we're in a stage where we just got a new owner. We're trying to rebuild. We have like a fairly new coach also. He's trying to model the team after himself.
Mm.
But we have to also think about it, like because when I hear the transfer rumors, I first of all try to see if the team holds any weight, which is Ronaldo might be unhappy at United, which is a fact because of their poor season.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas might not want him, but Todd might want him because it's kind of like an American sports team where most times they usually go for the best player, not necessarily the best player that fits into the team. They have
Big
this
names.
maybe like thinking just putting in, yes, big names, and he wants to prove himself, and you can't prove yourself more than getting Cristiano Ronaldo at this stage. So it feels like, but at the same time, they said he met with his agent, and his agent also has other clients on their list. So it could possibly be we want someone from its agent's client list, not necessarily Ronaldo, but Ronaldo is going to make the bigger headline. So that's what everyone is going with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I honestly didn't want us to talk about this morning, but the fact is, I think it's gaining momentum. It sounds like it's the truth, so that's why I wanted us to talk about it. And before he went to Manchester United, I argued that it probably ended up costing them more problems than helping them win trophies. And if you ask me, I'd say probably that's what's happened. Ty, your thoughts on that rumor? Is he a player you would want to see at Chelsea, or you don't want that to happen?
I definitely don't want it to happen.
Can you tell us why?
I mean, it would be like I'm echoing what everybody is saying, but he would only cause more problems than anything good. Because I mean, yes, people say that he would be an upgrade on Lukaku in terms of movement and everything else. But for the ego itself, for the main man syndrome that Lukaku had, and considering the achievements that Ronaldo himself has had, he
Mm-hmm.
can quite easily, come in. And we know that we don't have a lot of players that are actually at a level where they can say that they've achieved so many things. Yes, most of them have won the Champions League with us. Yes, they've won the Club World Cup. But I mean, some of them are still learning the trade in football, and I mean that is not a personality you want to see come in, even though on paper it sounds good, and people will look at the goals and say that things like this is what we need in the team. He guarantees goals, but
Mm-hmm.
what guarantees goals? But we're going to be sacrificing, the balance in the team. The team morale, going down because we want a player. And for me, I think for the people that are actually saying, I think it's sentiment. Looking at the achievements he's had, and saying that even at his age, he's still doing things. And yes, people say, look what he's doing at Man United. He's scoring goals in a poor performing team because he's Ronaldo. But that isn't something good, because you can see that the team is in disarray. It's disjointed. There's no harmony there. So I think that is not something you want to see coming into the team, and affect our team, because we already have that issue not long ago. Where players were not really feeling good. Especially after being downplayed, or being undermined, or bad mounted by somebody who thought that he has more authority than them, and he has more power, and he's better than them. We don't want that at the club. So even though on paper it sounds good, and it'd be an upgrade to Lukaku for some people, I just don't think it's the right decision to make, because we need to be building sort of balance and harmony under a new era, and that would not be the greatest start.
Yeah, it will not be indeed. I think even though it will be, you can argue, like Louisa explained, I think it will be good for business because the American approach is to go for big names, just to help. How else do I phrase it? Commercial viability. I don't know if that's the correct term for it. For which is what Todd Bowley does, and he owns an American baseball team, so he may well have, arranged for that meeting to see if we get him. But I think it won't make sense. It could possibly cause a lot of problems in the dressing room. But that's by the way. I want us to straight up, Ty, since I'm still with you, I want us to straight up talk about the Raphinha story. Your thoughts on where that is going right now? It's again, even though I'd like us, if in the end we're not able to sign him, I'd like us if he ends up going to Barcelona, they must pay more money than we've offered to Leeds United before they get him. I don't know if what I'm hearing is the truth. The rumors out there that he's saying. I think let me see if we can see the
But that
stream.
he'll be more open to staying at Leeds and wait for his dream move to Barcelona. Is that what
Yeah, exactly. So your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I really don't know what to believe because this would sound as if it depends on what you want to believe. Though I think that his dream move is in the Barcelona. Is he open to staying at Leeds just so that they can go get him next season? Because the thing is, this is hypothetical speaking. They've lost Calvin Phillips, so I'm not going to say that. But imagine they stay up once again and the price raises. What is he going to hope that they're going to be putting the money where the mouth is? To me, all of this sounds bogus. It sounds as if it's in a sense the media twisting things. Maybe he wants to wait another season, but for me, all these news about no, he does not want to come to Chelsea because he wants his dream move, and the source itself is why I'm not really, buying it. Really, ESPN are reporting it, and it's not something that I'm really fond of. I think it's something that there could be some truth that he wants to go to Barcelona, but to wait and say that what they don't have the money right now, maybe next summer they'll come from
No, they don't. If I can come in there quickly, you watched the video too, right? They don't.
Yeah.
Even though they balance, it just as if they spend the whole money to bring in players, and then they start spending the rest that they have to pay the players, and in the end they'll go broke again. So it just doesn't make sense. Go ahead, Ty.
No, what happened is that they've already sold. They've released one of their economic lever by selling their TV right, which was actually short-sighted because.
Ty, go ahead.
They sold their TV right for 25 years, and we know how the business works.
25
First of all, there's going to be
years.
inflation. Yes, and there's going to be inflation. They sold it for about 210 million. So there's going to be inflation. That's just being short-sighted, selling your TV right for 25 years. 25 years is a whole lot of years. You are not going to have the same thing you have now in 25 years. Everything is going to cost way more, except by some miracle, we just decide that, okay, we're fed up of everything increasing. Everything is going to cost way more. But someone that owns 10% of your TV right for 25 years, that's not good enough. They're just trying to check and balance everything to stay afloat of their debt right now, and it's going to really be catastrophic in the future.
Ty, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean with this thing though, I mean for him to just decide to do that, I'm not really sure. I don't think he is that unprofessional. I don't think he's that, and I said this yesterday, I don't think he's that stupid to say that I'll wait until next summer, because what if their priorities change next summer if they don't get him, and the roles that they want, the profiles that they want changes? What is he gonna do? So I mean, I honestly don't know, because all of it sounds suspicious. There's no clarity in it. One minute you're hearing that Barcelona have already agreed with him, and then the next minute you're hearing that he wants to stay at least for more summer and then wait until they have more money. So which one is it? So I don't understand this. I just feel like, Laporta is just saying things. He's just coming out. He's just yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping. And honestly, I don't think there's much substance in what he's saying. Maybe I think Christian said and Kessie, that's going to be happening for sure, because the cash injection will allow them to offer them wages, and obviously the contracts have already been signed and for them to be announced, because there was leaks of their the kits, or rather not, the shirt that they'll be wearing, to present themselves, has already been in the office at Barcelona. So that's a reality. But for me,
yeah, go ahead.
but for me, for Raphinha to say that he's going to be waiting one more summer, I don't think he's that foolish, because anything can happen in one summer, and they could switch what profiles they want, and if they keep Dembele, which looks pretty much like it's going to happen, you never know. He may become key for them, and they may find other players that are actually good enough to help them, and then they lose interest in him. So I don't think he'll be foolish enough to believe that this is the case, because there's no certainty, there's no assurance that they're going to be coming back in for him next summer and they'll still have that same interest. I just don't know if there's much substance in this report, and I think it just needs to be taken with a grain of salt until we learn more later
Here's
today.
then, I will give my 2 cents on that. Then I'll catch up with the chat now that it's not too long, and then come back to get Nick's opinion on that. I think Laporta, I think he's full of it. And again, you and I know he will not come out and openly and say we're broke because they're trying to get players.
Yeah.
But I admire his honesty for saying that they would do the best they can to keep the young. But the fact is, I don't think they'd keep him. I think they want to sell him because they want what's his name? This guy from AC Milan. What's his name again? Do you remember his name?
Kessie.
They want Frank Kessie from AC Milan. So they need to sell. They need to have money also. Plus, they've sold some of their income. Some of the incomes, let me just put it that way, to make money, but they still need to sell players to make money. So now Laporta says they will try the best they can to keep the young, but he has to. I think what he's saying clearly means he has to take a pay cut. So I think he's just full of it. He's just, he's just portraying, normalcy, if you want. He's just trying, to act like he spoke with confidence. He's just trying to act like everything is fine, because if he shows panic, then players will start to run away. So I don't think they're going to be able to get all the players they want. And like you said, I think the whole thing about with Raphinha saying he'd be willing to stay with Leeds United and then later on move to Barcelona and then join Chelsea, I don't think there's the truth to that. I don't think there's substance to it, so to speak. Like we've established yesterday, for Chelsea to say, okay, to still not pull out means they get some measure of confidence from the player or his agent that he may well come to Chelsea Football Club. Or maybe it could just be, okay, he told Chelsea, okay, I've already signed an agreement. I have an agreement in place with Barcelona. If they don't pay up, I'll join you. We don't know. So, but the media, like you've alluded to, they're very good at making they make the most. They make the meal out of such stories, for clickbait and all that. So I'm going to try and catch up the chat before it becomes too long. Now, already we have 54 people watching, but we have just 20 likes. Please, as you're coming in, please keep liking the video to help us reach more people, because the more people we have here, the more the show will be. Thank you very much already for 20 likes. It's not easy. I appreciate all your support. Here says... Emmanuel Obijaco says, good morning, Coachila. The latest on Chelsea transfers. Again, stay with us and you will hear everything again that's out there. We will keep you updated. Matthew Lee Benjamin says, smash the like button. Yes, people keep smashing the like button. Right now we have 23 likes and 63 people watching. Let's try and shoot at least for 150 likes by the end of the show. So keep liking the video and share the video, share the stream on whatever social media platforms that you have presence. But more importantly, thank you for your support. It's not easy. I sincerely do appreciate that. And TC, it's been like 300 years since I saw you. I hope everything is good with you. She says, hello, everyone. Please subscribe to the channel. It says one of the queens of the house. Nice to have you back, TC. I hope you're well. And I really do mean that. Hello, Nick from TC. And then again, here we have Deals CFC, my brother. He says, good morning, Coachila. Good morning, the panel. Good morning to you too. And I sincerely do hope you're doing well. And then here's Liam Len regarding the Raphinha conundrum, if you prefer. Raphinha is back at Leeds tomorrow. So we should find out what the story is. Then the moment we are only hearing backup PR, that's the truth. I think you could argue it's always been backup PR, but because the Spanish media, I think you could argue they work hand in hand with the clubs to help them get the clubs in the country to help them get whatever they want in terms of signing players or knocking down the price transfer fee offer a player. I think that may well be the case. Yeah, because I don't think, like Ty said, I don't think Raphinha would come out openly and say it's such thing. Here again, Adil says, so why hasn't Abaka signed Dembele yet? When he, when the agent walked out the other day, he didn't look happy. Again, that may well be the case. And again, if you look at it, that's why I say, Ty, remember I told you, Laporta, he's full of it. He's full of it. He's just portraying, trying to look confident, trying to make, not to scare players away, because why didn't they, come to a compromise, if you want to phrase it that way, with the Dembele camp? Now his contract has expired, and he's come out and said they're confident that they'll soon come to an, agree to a package. I don't think it makes sense at all. But what makes it seem like it's the truth that nobody has had anything from Dembele, and the fact that we've heard before that he'd already signed a 5-year deal with us, but now we're learning that isn't the case. We're just offering him. We're just making an offer to him right now. Please like the video, says TC. Please do so. I want Dembele over Raphinha. I think the club wants them both, but we'll see what happens. We should have pushed for Dembele over Raphinha. Do you think the club haven't been pushing for Dembele? I think they have. Leeds don't want to wait to sell Raphinha, though. We'll see. Again, we don't know what's the truth about that case. Even with Dembele, if he's taking a 40% pay cut to stay, why didn't he signal all along there's something very wrong at this club, at Barcelona, not us? Yep, not us. I think something, we don't really know what's going on. Good morning from Toronto, Matt P. Nice to have you here. Thank you. If this is your first time, please consider subscribing to the channel if you are indeed enjoying the show. Leon Lenigan says, what do you mean deals about Leeds? Liam Leeds and on a waiting time. No, they're saying that they've accepted Chelsea's offer, and anything less than that, they're not going to do business with Barcelona. Kounde, Dembele, Raphinha, Koulibaly are all twerking for Barca. I don't want Barca twerkers in my team. Let them go. Bring players that will fight for the team, like the Leeds. Aki, even though I am not a fan, your argument makes sense. And Nabu Levi says, I love Dembele. I think we all love him, but we're not just sure what's going on. Nick, I'm going to come back to you. I know you heard me ask the question, your thoughts on the fact that we're hearing that Raphinha says he's willing to stay. Is Nick gone? Okay, I'm cut. Okay, let me come to you. Phantom, are you ready?
Yeah.
Did you hear the story that he's saying he's willing to stay at Leeds United and then join Barcelona later? Your thoughts on that?
Talking about Raphinha, yeah. I think, but first of all, I think Nick needs just a better connection because he's always like having a problem with connection. But anyways, okay, Raphinha. The rumor is he's taking a pay cut to go to Barcelona because that's his real first choice. Or he might stay with Leeds another year so Barcelona can get him on a free. That's not the player we want then. As far as Dembele, he also said, I want to stay with Barcelona. So, like your friend...
How do we know? How do we really know that the players said all those things?
It was a tweet. It was like a tweet or something like that. So it was direct from his mouth or from his... Yeah, so it wasn't like a rumor. He said it on a video or something like that. It was from the guy himself.
No, can I come in quickly, if you don't mind?
Sure.
The case of Dembele, I think it was in France. A kid asked him if he was going to stay at Barcelona, and he was still under contract. So there's no way he'd tell him, I'm leaving. It wouldn't make sense.
Well, number one, he's got the problem with the Asia thing with Yokohama Tires. Number two, he's injured.
And they scapegoat him for that.
Right. Well, okay. What the Yokohama Tires?
No. Barcelona scapegoat him. They had the video. They didn't release it until they wanted him off their books. They wanted him and what's his name? Antoine Griezmann. They wanted both players off their books. So that was when everybody started seeing the video. The video was there for almost a year plus, or even more. I'm not sure the duration. But go ahead.
Well, again, sometimes it's, like a lot of the like this gentleman here, Mr. Levi, he says, I love Dembele. But what if Dembele was an Asian guy and called an African guy a monkey? Then would you still want him? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it doesn't hit home until it hits your ethnic background. Then when it hits your ethnic background, then you care a lot more than if it hits somebody else's on the side. You hear what I'm saying? So
yeah, I'm with you.
I don't want Dembele. I don't want him. I'm more apt to forgive Griezmann than I am to forgive Dembele, because Griezmann, all he did was laugh. But Dembele's the one who said it, right?
So, Nico, you're back on the panel. Your thoughts on what we're hearing, and that is if in fact it is the truth. The Raphinha said he's willing to stay with Leeds United and later move to Barcelona. He doesn't want to come to us. I think it's absolute nonsense. Yeah. Again, that's me. But your thoughts?
Yeah, we haven't heard it from him. I mean, that's all the media talking. We're supposed to have given him to yesterday to make up his mind, and he hasn't said yes to us. So I don't think he's going to come to us. I think he might go back to Leeds and wait for Barcelona. That's what he wants. But it's hard situation. But I think Chelsea, they said they're waiting for yes or no. But if he decides, to come to us, we ain't going to say no. So it's two ways. I love to have him. I said it before. I wanted him 2 years ago, really. He's a good player. And Dembele is as well. It'd be great to have both of them. But at least we have to get one of them. At least. And Barcelona, don't hear all this talk. They get money from here and there. All their money they get is illegal money, paper money. They're going to be in big...
Let me ask you this, Nick, quickly.
Yeah.
While I'm still with you, let's forget about how they're getting their money. The truth is, after the calculations, I know True Blue did the mathematics. I think they're still in trouble. It would take years for them to balance the books properly and be, Let me ask you this. I want to get your thoughts, because the rumors that we want Ronaldo, and remember, it started with the rumor that Todd Boehly arranged a meeting with the Ronaldo camp, and now we're hearing that his agent is pushing him to us. But to me, if you ask me, I'd say I don't think it will happen, and I don't think Thomas Tuchel would want him. And the fact that Todd Boehly also has promised that he only signed players that Thomas Tuchel wants, to me, I don't think that will happen. But your thoughts on the rumors, Ronaldo to Chelsea rumors?
Yeah, that's what they are, rumors. Boehly might, want Ronaldo because he's a big name. He's going to make money on the commercial side. But I don't think, I don't think Tuchel is that stupid enough to bring in Ronaldo, who everything will be focused on him. And imagine the other players, getting pissed off after a while, and where we're going to end up. We can't have that sort of player at the club right now. It's a team game. Ronaldo doesn't play in a team game. He's a one-man. he wants to be focused on every second of the game. It wants to be about Ronaldo. Gone are the days when he was great. Like I said last night, he's not as great as he was. He scored a few goals for United, all right. But let's see what he does this next season. I remember Ronaldo last year played really bad, losing the ball at crucial times. Why didn't United get top 4? Because Ronaldo ruined the whole team. That's why. And no, he ain't coming to Chelsea. No way Tuchel's going to want Ronaldo for me. And I just want to say this. If we can't get Dembele or Raphinha, we can always call our lonely, big, world player, Phantom of the Opera to come from loan. That's what he was saying yesterday, Phantom, wasn't you? You want to come back to Chelsea from loan?
If we get Robert Lewandowski, I will drop the Fulham loan immediately. Come back to Chelsea.
Yeah, they made me laugh.
All right, let's. I will still root for Chelsea. That's how much I love Lewandowski.
Yeah, but it could happen still. It's not out of the question. Anything can happen in football.
So, Nick, overall for you, it's a no for Ronaldo.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he's coming. I don't think Tuchel wants him. And, and the most important thing, he won't be any good to us. He could get a few goals for us, yes. But would he be good for the team?
Yeah, he will cause more problems than
I can't
than help.
Bowley, he's going to talk with Tuchel. You can't, get Ronaldo and drop the other players. Like, who are we going to have? We're going to have Sterling, Ronaldo, maybe Raphinha, Dembele. How many? We got players ourselves. So no, he ain't coming.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to come to you, Phantom. If you want to, I don't know if you want us to move ahead to the next topic or if you want to have your say on the Ronaldo topic. But let me catch up.
Ronaldo is my second choice behind Robert Lewandowski. These players are proven super strikers. Even though they're old, they're still proven. And I'd rather take the proven over they're going to come here and get, frightened of something like Timo Werner or Havertz or whatever. I want these proven strikers.
Okay, I'll come back to you. And again, if you have anything further to say about the Ronaldo to Chelsea rumors, I'd like to hear it. Now, Triple says, why don't you realize that Barca will have to move players on? We've realized that. We've talked about that. And that's why, one of the first things we talked about is what Laporta said about De Jong. They're going to do everything they can to keep him, but that De Jong himself has to understand practically what he was saying, that he has to take a pay cut to remain at the club. Even Dembele has to take a pay cut. I think, again, like I'm saying, he's just, portraying confidence, if you want to phrase it that way, because he doesn't want to scare away the players that want to come to the club. It's that simple. And they're negotiating with Manchester United, by the way. So for him to have said they would do everything they can to keep him simply means there's a possibility he leaves. And because Manchester United, they pay very well there. There's no chance I see the young to decide, okay, I want to stay with at Barcelona for 3 more years because they have a rich history. And then earn less money. The truth remains, as much as it is business for the clubs, it is business for the players. And if you watch that video, I think I'll find it and share it with everybody in the chat so you watch it, so you know there's detailed analysis from pundits and everybody that understands the situation on ESPN. They analyze it very well. They are in serious trouble. They're just pretending everything is fine, and it's not a problem. Again, I don't think they'll keep De Jong. If he stays, I'd be surprised. But that's by the way, I get your point. Yes, they have to move on players. Coach Dembele wants to stay at Barca because Xavi likes him. Okay, now Kim, so did Dembele tell you that? You let me know. There's no telling what Dembele wants to do until the transfer window shuts, and then he remains at Barca. And if that's the possibilities that they've been talking for zillions of years, and the transfer now his contract has expired, they still were not able to tie him down. Now it's going to be even more difficult for them, if you ask me. So again, there's no telling whether Dembele wants to stay there. As much as when the news broke that we got him, that we've signed him, that he's penned down a 5-year contract with us, that he's going to join us soon, as much as most people were arguing he's going to be one of Todd Boehly's first signings, now we've seen that we actually haven't offered him anything. So the same way you have to see it in that light too, that it's a lie. He didn't tell anybody he wants to stay at Barca. Until that happens, that's when I'm going to believe it. Deal CFC said Laporta now saying the young not for sale. He didn't say not for sale. What he said is that they will do whatever they can to keep him. That's how I see it. Raphinha is very good. I love him. Okay, good. Keep loving him. Chelsea should not sign Raphinha because Raphinha's heart is at Barcelona, and I didn't want the issue of Lukaku to happen against Chelsea. Again, his case is different.
Stop
and the
with
reason
this comparison.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know why people easily jump to that conclusion. I don't think Lukaku's case is different. Raphinha's case, again, it's entirely different if you want to phrase it that way. And and there's no way to tell if that's the case. Remember, he's already, he has an agreement with Barca. I think it's since January or February. I'm not sure the month. So again, he may well be saying, okay, let me just, see if they'll be able to match what Chelsea. If they do, then I'll go to them. And I don't think, like Ty alluded to before, I don't think Chelsea will still be waiting on him if they're not getting any measure of signal or sign that he may join them. So we just assuming, making up stuff and saying maybe this is the case, and whatever we hear from journalists out there, we just take it and run with it. I don't think that's the case. Again, Lamlin says yes, Deals. Okay, he's talking to Deals. Something weird is going on at the back. Something seriously weird. I think I will share the video for everybody to watch. Yes, totally, I agree. Deals says they got to fall sooner or later. It will come back to bite them. That's the thing. Chelsea should retract the offer. Again, let me highlight this again. We'll talk about it in a bit. It says, how long before Raphinha signs for Chelsea? Does an interview about loving Barca come out? Again, I don't want to talk about it again. Barca are getting 207 million up front from the TV rights. They are still, again, how much is that? Again, it sounds like it's a lot of money. And they are 1.something billion in debt. They're still going to sign new players. They're still going to be paying players salaries. And now it just sounds like it's a lot. It's not a lot. How long will it take them? That's the question you got to ask yourself. With Dembele and Raphinha moves in dub, Neymar on loan becomes a possibility. Fabian Ruiz is another alternative for the young. Chelsea will explore. Again, that's you. Respect. John Foley, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you here again. Laporta was so arrogant yesterday when he came out of boasting that they would register Kessie Wednesday and Christensen Thursday, and the young wants to stay but must take a pay cut. Exactly. I think that's the way he phrased it. That's just absolute nonsense. That's just him not trying to. He won't come out and tell you they're broke. Then all those players waiting for them would just turn and run away because it is business for them after all. Apparently, Tuchel doesn't want Ronaldo. We got all the targets that Tuchel wants. Boehly wants Ronaldo. Not going to happen again. And then we're hearing that we've heard that Boehly said he's not going to sign players that Thomas Tuchel doesn't want. It's as simple as that. Until Raphinha and Lewandowski both want to take a low salary to play for Barca. I don't know. How do you know that? Let us know. Good morning, brother. Long time no see. Yes, my brother. I hope so. You did well. It's been a while. I hope things are well at your end. Blessings to you, my brother. Big up Coachila and the panel says the queen of the house. Big up to you too. How are you doing? I sincerely do hope you're doing well. Now, I'm going to skip to the bottom because I can't read everything. And then I'll see if there's anything to read here. It says, for all the people who want Harry Kane, he isn't the best at pressing. So pressing isn't a good enough reason not to go for Lewandowski. Again, that's another good argument here. Kimso says, next season, I hope we meet Barca in the group stage and destroy them. I hope that happens, but we'll see. I'm going to come back to the panel. Anybody else want to say anything about the Raphinha conundrum, if you prefer?
Yes. Do you hear me, Coach?
Yeah.
Yeah. All I would love to say, like this rumor saying Raphinha would like to stay to Leeds if the Barcelona move doesn't happen. Raphinha is pushing Barcelona move. We're just hearing from the journalist. We are not hearing from the person himself. So all of this just rumors until the player come out on social media or do an interview saying those words. So we should be careful. Again, I'm seeing a lot of fans of Chelsea saying we don't want Raphinha, his heart is on Barcelona, blah blah blah. Remember, we got Willian at Spurs medical, doing medical at Spurs, and he came to us. He did good to us, and no one said he should stay at Spurs. He can't come to Chelsea. Already his heart was at Spurs. Well, football doesn't work like that. So we should be careful on what we are saying.
Yeah, but the difference here is that Willian chose Chelsea. If the situation, if the way the journalists are talking about it, if that is how it's truly going on behind the scenes, then Raphinha is holding out for Barca to match Chelsea's offer to go to Chelsea. Willian chose to come to Chelsea. If at the end of the day he does stay at Leeds, then he didn't want to come. If he even still ends up coming to Chelsea, then because if he's going to take a pay cut, how will Raphinha take a pay cut? He's already receiving 65,000 per week, which is not even much because Chelsea is offering him about 120,000. So Barca is going to give him a pay cut on 65,000. Is it going to be any 50,000? The whole situation does not make sense. At the end of the day, you kind of understand that if a player wants to go to the club they like, it's really nothing you should anyone can really say, okay, it's bad for doing this, it's bad for doing that. But I feel like at a point, if he's still holding out for the Barca offer, Chelsea should withdraw their offer because you are trying to make people buy into, because that's what the advantage that Barcelona has over a lot of clubs, even Real Madrid also. They make the players buy into what they are doing, and at the end of the day, you end up getting players that will take a pay cut to stay at your club. You end up getting players that are willing to do anything to stay at the club. We need to try and still build our environment like that. We don't need what's it called? We don't need military people who will come in, get the job done, and just leave. We also need. That is the reason why people are trying to push for academy players also, because academy players grew up with this team knowing that, okay, one day I really want to play at Stamford Bridge against the biggest names. That's what we are getting with the academy players, that we should still try, and we know it's a business at the end of the day. The players want to come in and play football, but at a point you still need to try and balance the two, because you need a set of players that are willing to do anything for the club as far as you treat them right. That's why, for me, I think if everything going on, because at the end of the day, you actually don't know if everything going on is true. But if everything going on is true, at some point we have to say, okay, he has held that too long. We need to move on. It's business, but at the end of the day, you still need to be first choice in whatever business deal you are doing.
Here's my counter argument for you. You said something about him waiting for Barca to come get him. Again, remember, we're actually hijacking the deal. Put that into context. We're hijacking the deal, so there's a chance he's talked with Chelsea and said, okay, since these guys spoke with me first, can you give me time to see if they will go through with it? If not, I'll come to you. That's a chance that's the case. If we're being honest here, we're practically still in the deal.
But that's the thing. We're not stealing it from somebody that is able to. We're not. Who was it? Who are we hijacking it from? We hijacked it from Arsenal. Then he had an agreement with Barca also, but because they could not meet up the demands of Leeds. You saw a suitor came up to you with the capacity to get you from where you were before. Barca did not have that capacity, because we know it's Barca. They are going to have it at the end of the day if they are ready to have it, because money just seems to come out from nowhere. By the time they are ready to use it, they are only in debt when they need to service their loan. So we know that he's waiting out for someone, because he's under contract. He's not a free agent. He doesn't really get to decide. He only gets to pick among the people that have come for him. Leeds still needs to get what they want from him. They need to meet up. And even if Barca offers the same amount Chelsea does, at the end of the day, Barca is going to pay in installments, and Leeds might not want that.
Yeah, again, thank you very much for that great input. You beat me to that one. Again, if you haven't, we have 118 people watching, but we have just 43 likes. Please keep liking the video. Let's shoot for 150 likes by the end of the show. And Declare, I can see you back end, but we have 6 people now. Hopefully we get a chance to bring you in as soon as possible. We'll have a full, you usually want to keep it at 6. And so if you haven't, please take a second to like the video. The more you like the video, the more people will be able to reach. And please share the stream on whatever social media platforms where you have presence to help us reach more people. And thank you for 46 likes. And thank you for all the new subscribers. Again, we've gained around 15 subscribers already. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the support. Again, I cannot thank you guys enough. Let's talk about something quickly that just scrolled past on the screen, that Juventus are looking at getting Jorginho. And I'll start with you, Phantom. You looking at getting Jorginho, but he's not a part of any of the deals that we're discussing with him. Your thoughts?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Is there anybody we want from Juventus?
We want Delete.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's make it a player swap, part of a money player, both ways. I mean, just like in American baseball or football, where the players, they swap the players, and then maybe one side adds some more money or the other side adds some more money to make it to work out. Or would they do an even swap for Delete for Jorginho?
I think that there were rumors that were planning to give them Timo Werner. Some people talked about it and added Christian Pulisic to the rumors, but I think it's absolute nonsense. Werner, that's a possibility, because we're hearing that Juve wants him. Go ahead.
I think Timo wants to go back to Bundesliga, not join Serie A, right? So that probably doesn't work. But Jorginho wants to go back to Serie A, and let's do that. Delete for Jorginho. I don't know if we need to put in some money or they need to put in some money.
I think what you just said just brought something to mind, and I think that actually could work. We're looking at let me just say Milinkovic-Savic. Let me just say Savic, or SMS as people call him.
Yeah,
I'm hearing that we want him, and he's a good player. And Sarri is the current coach of Lazio.
Yes, he is Lazio.
Thank you. So thank you for bringing that up. So I think we should, test the waters of saying, okay, we have Jorginho for you.
Well, with Lazio, we also have Kepa for you, but do they have enough cash for that?
I don't think Chelsea will be looking at to get more money for Kepa, to get a lot of money for Kepa, because he's not been playing that much.
Right. Well, I mean, do we want any players from Lazio?
That's who you're looking at on the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm falling asleep.
The Savage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, maybe we can do it. If we can do it, we can do it. Yeah. It'd be like.
I think it's something as the waters for, because Sarri, he loves Jorginho. It just seems as without Jorginho, he's not been able to do anything good.
Yeah. That's true. Right? And
not only Chelsea football
to Chelsea, right?
Yeah.
He's the one who brought him over. So yeah, let's do it. I'm wondering if they're willing to do it. I'm falling asleep. I'm sorry. I'm going to give Declare the chance to come in. So.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay,
and thank you for having you. Nick, your thoughts on that suggestion, given Lazio, giving them Jorginho, since his father is there, like most Chelsea fans call him, and then ask them and tell them we want Savic.
Yeah, it'd be a good, I love Jorginho. He's done great for us, really. It'd be sad to see him go, but I think with his wife wanting to go back to Italy so much, this is an opportunity for him to go back to Sarri. Sarri will love him back, and his wife will be very happy. Don't forget, she wants to go back. It was 50-50 for Jorginho to stay with us. He wanted to stay, but his wife wants to go. So, yeah, the best solution is, if we can do that, it'd be great to get Savic, a swap deal, and Sarri be happy, Jorginho be happy, and his wife will be even more happier. So, she can make him a lot of babies as well. So, yeah.
Do you like Savic?
Yeah, I've seen him play for his country. He's a good player, yeah, I like him, yeah. But I mean, it'd be a good swap deal, really. Let's see what happens with that. But the opportunity is there. It depends how much Tuchel wants Savic, and if Lazio can, they want to do that. But with Sarri there, I'm sure they do. With Sarri there, it could happen. But it could go the other way around, and Tuchel wants Jorginho to stay, and Jorginho will decide to stay. It could go that way as well. So I know Tuchel rates Jorginho a lot, and so do I.
So there's a chance he wants him to remain at Chelsea, actually.
Yeah, of course. Unless Jorginho has to go because of his wife. Let's see what happens with that. But it's a 50-50 thing for me, and I wouldn't be sad. I'd be sad to see him go, of course, but I wouldn't be sad, because we're getting another good player, and Sarri can be happy. I like Sarri. I liked him when he was here. He was treated really badly, very badly, in fact. I wish him and his team well. Yeah, that's right.
I think Chelsea fans, they weren't patient with Sarri at all.
Yeah, too much.
They were.
Go on.
Go ahead if you.
Yeah, I'm talking about Sarri. He done what he could. He didn't get the backing. He didn't get nothing from the board. The fans didn't rate him. They didn't give him time. For me, he done great. He got us to that final against Arsenal, and we beat them. And Kepa's situation was the only thing, but it wasn't his fault. That was down to the captain, and we know Aspi didn't want to do nothing. So sorry for me, I didn't want him to go at the time.
Let's just talk transfer. I think we have time to talk about him sometime. But thank you again.
It'd be a good
go ahead.
Swap deal if it can happen. I just
said
it'd be a
business
swap deal if we can get Savic.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry?
No, go ahead. I said go ahead. I said sure. Thank you, Nick. And again, go ahead.
Yeah, Savic is a good player. Even if we're gonna get rid of Jorginho, it has to be someone very good coming back in. So it could be good. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you very much, Nick, for that input. Right now we have 119 people watching, but right now 109. If you haven't, please, and we have 60 likes already, and that's good. Thank you very much. I'm beyond grateful if I don't say thank you to you again. Please take a second to keep liking the video. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way for the channel. And like I've told you before, I'd prefer you to like the video than donate the channel. There are other ways the channel can make money. You don't have to. Your support alone, being in the chat, watching the video, those things do go a long way for the channel. So I'd prefer you to like the video, keep liking the video, And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And Josh Viola just sent me something very powerful that I'd like us to look at, but I want to catch up with the chat very quickly. GUV1905 says, Barca are saying they are enough for everyone to keep fans appeased. For now, we all know it's impossible with their financial state. Even if they're not in that situation, I think it'd be difficult for them to get all the players they, most of them are in purgatory right now, especially someone like Andreas Christensen. He's in no man's land, if you ask me. I'm not sure how they're able to do that. Again, Gunplay the Gamer, nice to have you back again, brother. I hope you're doing well. He says Laporta is bluffing. So start a bidding war. This shows how broke Barca is. They just want more money. That's just, again, whatever he said about the young, they just want more money. That's just the truth because they're already negotiating with Manchester United. This ain't gonna go end well for Barca. We're gonna be in a win-win situation. We either get in Dembele or Raphinha or even both. There's a chance we get both, but we'll see. Bless up Jamaica. Courtney, does that? I'm not sure what that means, but nice to see you here, Courtney. It's been a minute. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Big up Eric Blue. Yes, big up to my brother. I love Eric Blue, my fellow Nigerian. It's going to be close to 600 million a year for their TV match rights. They don't have to clear the debt. Again, yeah, it looks like you understand the finances very well, but still they have a problem. I get your point, and thank you for educating me on that. Gunplay the Gamer says, I saw ESPN explaining Barca's situation. They are really broke. Laporta knows, and he came out openly saying, yep, they want to keep the young, but he'd have to take a pay cut. It wasn't even, subtle about saying that. Barca are one of the most valuable entities on planet, and they still have majority of the TV rights and brand licensing rights to sell assets. Again, is it a good thing to sell assets because you want to sign players? No, it's not. Again, that brings us back to when they were just spending recklessly, paying how much they paid for Coutinho, paying how much they paid for Neymar straight from South America, and all the players they signed, just Dembele and all that, spending money, and now Dembele wants to leave them on a free. Again, okay, the link to read, he's provided the link in case if you want to read more on that, please go ahead. If Dembele doesn't come to us, Grimes will be in the mud. Again, it is transfers. Anything can happen. People can hijack transfers, and players can change their minds. Until they put pen to paper and it's sealed, then you can say it's done. But you can hear that a player, that something is done, then next thing they change their mind and go to other club. We've seen examples of that before. I think Tuchel is confused at the moment. So many good players on a free, others are cheap. I think he is back at the drawing board because of Raphinha. Chelsea have reached out to Dembele's agent. Again, I'm not sure about that, but again, we should sign as early as possible. It's not that simple. And this is Chikeme. Great Chikeme says, this is not Raphinha's holding this transfer. Deco is the one. I heard the story that went and collected money from Barca during a match by, hoping that Leeds will be relegated. But it happens that Leeds is no more. It's not relegated, so the price is up. Barca has to pay more if they really want the player. So that makes sense. Dylan Curran says, we've got a fast CB in Chalobah, Caldwell, and Silver passing knowledge. We only need one quality CB. To be fair, Kounde is a luxury player. We need a commander like Botman, Koulibaly, Arajo, Hummels. Again, if you talk to 25 different Chelsea supporters, chances are you get 25 different responses or list of players that they want us to sign. There was a time Vadio was part of the list, and somebody mentioned someone this morning that I have to go research to know how good they are. Again, the list goes on. I also from Ben Jacobs, Chelsea really closing in on signing Delete. Yep, I want that to happen. I really love the player. I want to see that. So I'm going to skip this comment again and go to the very bottom. If I miss any of the thing you type here, apologies. I'm just highlighted and not read it. Declan, I'm going to come with you. I'm going to try to bring you up to par. We have the Ronaldo story. We have the Raphinha story. And you heard what we talked about Milinkovic-Savic. Which one do you want to start with?
Sorry, I missed out on those, but big up everyone. Welcome back on your holiday too, Coach. Big up, Chip.
Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate that.
I'll join in wherever you wanna. Wherever you.
Okay, start with the Ronaldo rumors. Your thoughts?
Oh, how good would Ronaldo be, huh? we can start doing our ones. Oh, he'd be a lot of fun.
You want him?
I want him in a way that it'll be. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be funny. I think it'll be a marketing. I don't see it. I don't see him coming. It could happen. It could be a big ploy. I mean, he'll be a massive step up from Lukaku. I mean, in the terms of ranking on some of the names we'll be linked with, I'd rather Ronaldo than Neymar. I think that Ronaldo, at least wherever he's going to go, he has massive ambition and he's going to put 110%. That's just his character. And he can, and with that, he can probably elevate a team. So in reality, someone like Ronaldo maybe won't revolutionize our squad, but I mean, off the pitch, we've got young players. He's a great example. I mean, if he starts scoring, he could turn out to be great, more than just the money he's going to bring in, marketing-wise as well. And it does sound like a bit of fun. And then the whole world will be on us too when you get someone like Ronaldo in. It's not someone that I want for the system, but I think Ronaldo will be a lot of fun. I think it'll just be funny. I think it's bad.
Can you see? Yeah. Can you try and look at it from the dressing room's point of view? Don't you think he will cause a lot of problems?
No, you actually elevate him. He's a great example.
Oh,
he's like,
really?
He's like a manager. He gets, you see him any national team, whatever it is, team. He's there backing his team. He's all positive, ambitious. He'll lift the team. I'm not sure about problems. The only problem he has is that he does have a big ego, but you can see why.
Oh,
you can see what he's done.
You just said that. Here's the thing, Declan. Because it's important. It's important that we talk about it. If you get my point.
Coach, we'll do a comparison, right? From Serie A came Ronaldo and Lukaku, right? Ronaldo came in, and Man United actually started doing well. He scored crucial goals. If he didn't score those goals, Man United would be lower than they are. He didn't score any goals. He scored crucial goals, right? He came in. People started playing better around him too. He did an interview. He called some players out. Lukaku did an interview, and he called our manager out, right? For money reasons, he should stay at Man United. But they're not ambitious enough, right? That's why he's leaving. That's why he wants out. If everything is all true, there's no financial reason for him to leave. Only, right, that he wants to win things. And if everyone gets on his level, right? I mean, there's another character that is similar, right? That you could say has massive ego, is Ibrahimovic. And do you think he caused problems everywhere he went?
You could argue Ibra is actually a great professional, but let me tell you this. Let me just say this quickly. Here's the problem I have in the stocks of Ronaldo coming to Chelsea Football Club. All the club he's played in, except I think they signed him from Benfica, right? That was where Manchester United signed him from, right? I don't know much. I don't know if from Portugal, I don't know if it's Benfica or what, but I'm not sure of his history there. But from Manchester United to Real Madrid to Juventus, he's always wanted to be the main guy. And he thrives when you build the team around him. And you could argue that was why he didn't, towards the end of his stay at Juventus, he didn't enjoy it that much because things changed. You get the point? And I think he would want that to be the same at Chelsea Football Club if he comes. And that's a problem.
How's that a problem? Who you don't think
wanting the team to be built around him?
No, of course not. He understands that the team's not going to be built around him if he's here for 1 or 2 years. But if Ronaldo comes, say, out of our attackers, if Ronaldo comes in, is he our main attacker? Is he our best attacker? Let's just say.
Okay, you win this one. Let me just put it that way. But again, I wouldn't want him to come to Chelsea. That's me. We're all entitled to our opinions. I know some people want him, and again, you could argue most of the people that want him are just again without even knowing it, they're pushing for what would be just a luxury signing, not just really what we need or what will help us solve a problem. Believe me, I'd say the something I said when he was on the verge of joining Manchester United, that he's going to cause him more problems than provide a solution. Yes, he scored goals, but there are issues he hindered. Like one of us on the panel here mentioned the development of some of the players. And believe me, calling out your teammates, to me, I don't think it's a good thing. But that's an argument for another day. Just quickly to bring you all to par, then I'll bring in the next important topic we have here from an important something that Josuala inboxed me. Your thoughts on the idea? I think it was Nick. Was it who brought up that idea? I think it was a phantom of many topics who brought up the idea of suggesting Sarri, who is now the coach of Lazio, that if you want Jorginho, you can take him, but we want a Savic. Your thoughts?
I don't think Lazio can finance Jorginho and want Jorginho for his age. Jorginho is a big name. I think that's why he was.
So you don't think Sarri would want him?
No, Sarri will want him. Jorginho is due for probably a bumper deal, probably the highest wage he's ever gotten before, right? He'll probably be downgrading if he goes to Lazio. That's why his name's being linked with, when it was linked, with clubs like Juventus and whatnot. So it does sound, it does, you can connect dots, yeah? Sarri, Jorginho, we want Savic, and it's easy to do those dots, but does Jorginho want to go back to a club like Lazio when he can get to a club and get his last big contract on the biggest deal?
All right, I think let's get into what I talked about here. Here's something I like us to look at. Are you still there, Tobago?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, if you look at this, this is a list of, as of today, the following players are without a club. Paulo Dybala, Ousmane Dembele, Christian Eriksen, Andrea Belotti, Angel Di Maria, Alessio Romagnoli, Edison Cavani, Isco, Luis Suarez, Dries Mertens, Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba already, you could say, is finalizing his move to Juventus. And I think Di Maria, what club did I read he was talking with? And also, I think Luis Suarez, I think, is moving back to moving back home. But your thoughts on these players, which one of them would you suggest, like, we'll go for?
Dybala.
Dybala, can you tell us why?
Because Tuchel loves players that can play a false nine, a 10-ish player, and then Dybala can do it. And Dybala also is a leader. And then again, what I love about him is he can offer us more than what Lukaku offered us. So him as a false nine will be good for us. And then I don't know which wages does he want. And then if the wages will be good, I would love to have him. And he's a good technical player, Dybala, if you've seen him a lot. So Dybala for me will be perfect. And then if it's possible, Romagnoli, we can get him because it's free for example, to give, so we can have a squad depth. Because last season we have lacked that. We didn't have enough squad to compete. So if it's possible, we can get him too.
And by the way, guys, Tobago will be launching his YouTube channel today, and I will be there. And I hope you guys also will find time to join us. I will share the link to his channel later on as the show progresses. And halfway through the show, we will go into making adjustments to the lineup because we're seeing the club's priorities in the market. Priorities in the market are changing gradually. Now, Ty, are you there? Are you still with us, Ty? All right, Louisa, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I'm sure you're seeing the list there. You see the list of players we have there. Or which of them, one or two players there you think would we can get on a free that will come and help us solve a problem and help us become a better team? Your choice.
Ideally, I would want Dembele and Dembele, but it's kind of it all depends on the other players who are actually going after, because at the end of the day, we're still trying to build something. Like, we don't have any. We're imagining that, okay, now with the new owners and with Tuku just having, he signed only 2 players before, and those 2 players are gone. So he needs to build his own team after what he really wants and what is imagined in his head the team should look like. So it depends on the other players who are going, because if you are building a team, you need compatibility. It's not just throwing in the best guys. That's the reason why Cristiano Ronaldo is a big no from me and most people. Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the greatest players. You can't argue that. Even at 37, he's still doing some things that a peak 25 years old they are not able to do. He's a great player, but it's not the player you want to be building around at this point. Except you just want him to come in, and I don't even know if it assures you of a trophy, but except you just want him to come in 1 year and go. But we are trying to build a team.
So from this list, which of the players did you say?
Dembele and Dembele.
Dembele and Dembele. Declan, your turn. And if you're in the chart, let us know. At least don't pick more than 2. Pick the 2 players you think you get from here that will help us, become a better team and even win more trophies. Your choice, your turn, Declan. Which of the 2? Which of it? You can say at least 1. But if you pick 2, fine. Which of the players there you think we can get and they still be very, very useful for us?
Is there more names under Paul Pogba? you got the chat there. I wonder if there's another name under there.
No, I think it ends there.
Okay. Dembele, I guess, is a standout one, and we're linked. And for me, it was Pogba.
But Pogba is already gone. If let's be honest about that.
Yeah, I thought it was hypothetical. So we can't pick if they're gone.
No, if they can't, don't pick them, because there's a chance Thomas Tuchel might be looking at this list. We already know we're looking at Dembele, so yeah.
So Dembele, I'm worried about Eriksen.
Why are you worried?
Maybe Dybala, if anything.
No, can we talk about it? Why are you worried about
sorry,
Eriksen?
not Dybala. Di Maria. That's it. Di Maria's my man.
Di Maria is here, yeah. Okay, here's the 2 names I want there. If I should pick one, it would be Di Maria. If it is 2, it will be Ousmane Dembele and Di Maria, because those 2 players have played under Thomas Tuchel, and both of them did well. And Di Maria is a fine player. Some will argue, well, he didn't do well in the Premier League. It depends on the manager he played under. Was it under Louis van Gaal, right?
For that time, I think so, yeah.
Again, so whoever he played on at Manchester United, I think may be the issue and the players around him. I think on the Thomas Tuchel at PSG, I think he did quite well. Those are the 2 players I would take from that list. But that's, by the way, we move again. Let's talk about again. What other players do we have here to talk about? Really, can we talk about Dembele, Declan? Any ideas on what's really going on with that deal?
Just playing the who's going to give me the highest wages bidding war. I mean,
and from what Laporta is saying, your thoughts on that, because it sounds like, but it just, to me, what Laporta is saying just doesn't make sense to me, because if they had the chance to keep him, if they're not able to, to get him to sign a new contract before it expires, then whatever he's saying, what things he's saying about Dembele staying or them coming to an agreement with him, to me, are all absolute nonsense. But go ahead.
Look, maybe this is the best way to put it. We are intertwined with 5 players with Barcelona, yeah? And now, and that being Raphinha, and this is the one with linked, yeah? Raphinha, Kounde, Dembele, Alonso, and Aspi, right? Now, there's obviously a deal there, and I guess he's holding out for the best he can get, right? And maybe if he had a choice, it'd probably be Barca. Barca offered him less money than he was getting. And probably Chelsea didn't offer him as much money as he was getting too.
Yeah, right? I'm hearing Chelsea offered him less.
Yeah, but more than Barca, I'm sure.
No, right? Less than Barca.
No, I think that was the case, he would have stayed, or maybe someone else comes in.
No, you must remember, I think there are no shortage of buyers for him.
Yeah.
So shortage of interest. I think that's a better option, because it's not Barca and selling. But go ahead.
Yeah, so that's what's happening with him. Plus, I mean, the Raphinha, us pushing for Raphinha, even overbidding for Raphinha, is forcing Barca to spend more money if that was their key signings, right? I mean, pushing Barca, something has to give. So something with the Dembele, there's too many players tied up. So either they throw some of the resources at a better deal for Dembele, or do they get Raphinha and then they don't get Dembele, they let him go, and then maybe they lose out on Kounde too. I think maybe it's a really smart move that Chelsea push a player like Raphinha that they planned on getting fairly cheap, and we just pushed him beyond probably what he's worth, and now they have to make a choice, because it could be that they're really keen on him, and they've had a bad history with Dembele, so they look at Dembele a lot differently than the way Chelsea would look at Dembele. And then if we force them to spend a lot of money, that means they could come in for Aspi and Alonso, because they can't afford players like Kounde.
They've actually, I'm hearing that actually the deal to take Alonso from Chelsea is actually close.
Yeah, like I said, it's all intertwined. They're trying to, they got little resources, and they're trying to throw it at where they think is best. And now we just made Raphinha more expensive to them, and maybe they can't afford him.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Coming back, before I go to the panel, I want to say thank you. Thank you for 82 likes. Now we have just 18 or more likes to get to 100 likes. Remember, we're shooting for 150 likes by the end of the show. So if you haven't, please take a second to like the video to help us to get to 100 likes. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't, if you're really enjoying the show. Louisa, let me start with you on this one. Pacman Essay says, and by the way, Pacman Essay, I haven't said hello to you today. How are you doing? I do hope you're doing well. He says, I'm hearing Chelsea are willing to pay 60 to 65 million for De Ligt. But here's part of the sentence that I'm interested in. He says, I swear Kounde is the better defender. I don't know why he's being overlooked. Your thoughts on that argument? I think we're comparing Kounde with De Ligt. Your thoughts on the two players, and which of them do you think is a better player?
Personally, I'll actually go for Kounde. So it's this person's argument kind of makes sense. Why do we bring out this money for this? But I feel like it's kind of trying to do a business deal, because Juventus, we are not just interested in getting De Ligt. We also want to like give out one or two of the players so that we'll free up some squad spots. So if that's the deal that ends up happening, it could explain why it happened. At the same time, it feels like Kounde. They said Kounde was not Thomas' first choice, that it was a Marina and Czech's player. So it kind of makes sense. You want to back the manager. We should not just say back the manager and start questioning his choices. Let's back the manager and back him fully. The rumor is that why Kounde's deal, because Kounde's deal was basically a done deal before Marina and Czech left. It only became open because now Todd wants to trust the manager. Todd wants to get in what it wants. The news coming out from the camp is that Kounde is not Thomas' choice. So we don't know. The better defender could be Kounde, but at the end of the day, who is the better defender for Thomas' squad, for what he has in his mind? Two players can be great. One can be greater than the other, but it could be the player who is not so great that becomes a better choice for the team environment. Not like, because football is not an individual sport. You need everybody in the squad to work together. You need everybody to be able to buy into what's going on, get into the plan of the manager and all. So that's why I think we're going after De Ligt. I feel like Kounde might be off the table completely from what is going on, but at the end of the day, I might not be surprised to see, because the way this transfer window is going is that we've been linked with so many names. At the end of the day, we know we're going to get players. So don't be surprised if we do get players that you don't even understand how they came about, because we need players. We're going to get players. But how soon are we getting those players is just the question that is around right now.
Tavago, your turn. Which of the players do you think it's a better player, and which would you prefer us to sign it? Tell us and why.
At this moment, I would say De Ligt, because De Ligt have leadership skills, and then he used to play to this current system. Remember, Juventus likes to play three at the back sometimes. Even at Netherlands, they play three at the back. So already he have that experience from this formation. But the issue now is the press tag. And then I think under Tuchel he can improve a lot of things that what people are saying. He likes this and that. And remember, he's still young, so we need to give him time so that he can develop. But what I love about De Ligt, he's so confident on the ball, and then he's a leader. So we lack leadership at Chelsea now. So bringing players that have a leadership mentality will help us more.
Yeah, Declan, let me hear you. Bring it on. Let me hear your thoughts on the two players.
Well, I agree with what Tobago is saying. I mean, we do need both. There's no denying that. They are two different players. I think De Ligt can play multiple positions where Kounde might not, even though Kounde brings some other elements and maybe the ball playing skills, maybe more suited to the right centre back. But then when I look at that, we do have James, and we do have we're probably a bit more stacked in that position than the other defensive positions. That's what makes De Ligt a bit more crucial.
Yeah, I think in terms of, because he's a versatile player, and I've done my research, he's able to play on the right-hand side, he's able to lead the back line, he's able to play on the left-hand side. And again, like everybody who's talked about him, like Tobago talked about, he's good. That's even he captained Juve. Even when the two older players were there, that's to show you how much of a character he is in terms of, overall as a player. I think he's a strong character, and that he brings that leadership for us. And again, he's just young. Many people are judging him by the mistakes he made this past season, which you could argue they're not too many. It's just because the people seem to forget how old he is. Is it 21, just 21, or 22? At most, I think he's 20, but I think he's still 21.
21.
21, yeah?
22.
22. Again, even at that, he's still very young. And he did all the work for the two older players that played with him, which was Chiellini and what's the other person's name? Correct me if I'm wrong. So again, and people are comparing him with Harry Maguire. I think overall he's the better player, and he can be physical too. He's quick, good on the ball, and he can be calm if need be. If I have to choose between him and Kounde, I'd choose him anytime, any day, given his versatility, his ability on the ball, and his ability to lead. But that's by the way. Now I want us to quickly talk about this from Liam Len. That's a delicious comment there, right there. By the way, he says Ben Jacob has just said that contrary to some reports, Raphinha has not dismissed Chelsea, and that is why I have been wondering why Chelsea hadn't pulled out of the race. I think Ty and I also talked about it today. I think it makes sense now that if he truly was waiting on Barca and have no interest, whatsoever, he had no plans, to join Chelsea, Chelsea will pull out. But Chelsea remaining in the race and we haven't heard nothing saying that Chelsea have pulled out, means they are sensing some measure of interest from the player or his camp overall. So again, that's also a chance that Raphinha has told Chelsea, please be patient with me. Because I already have an agreement with them in place. If they don't, I'll bid you. Then I'm with you. I'm coming to you. It's that simple. But that's by the way. Anybody on the panel want to add something else to that?
If you saw a post from David, I think it's David Austin, said that Dembele's first priority is Barcelona, Chelsea is his second priority, and Arsenal are on the mix. So we should bear that in mind. And we've been saying most of the Brazilian players have a dream to play for Barcelona. So it's not wrong for Raphinha to make Barcelona as his priority. I mean, so we should bear that in mind. And again, I was in place yesterday, Jacob saying this. Dembele is still open to come to Chelsea, but Barcelona is his first priority. And then he will see what will happen. And at this moment, Chelsea is in good condition for Raphinha, because like the difference between Chelsea and Barcelona, Chelsea is willing to pay the money now, and Barcelona want to pay it in installment, and Leeds doesn't want to do that. So we'll wait and see until some other time. But again, I don't want this deal to drag on just like Barcelona and Manchester United for De Jong. We should look for other targets, and this one is on hold, because like sometimes it's not useful to look into one player and then we end up not getting other targets. But again, Leeds are saying, as Ben Jacobs said, he said Leeds are happy with the Chelsea bid, and so far Chelsea are in a pushing pool, but Raphinha just undecided yet until Barcelona make another move. So, but we'll wait and see.
Yep. Again, we're just seeing that Chelsea Football Club will sell Marcos Alonso to Barcelona for around 10 million euros or something. If I were Chelsea, I actually sell them to Barcelona because they're enemies right now. But that's, by the way, right now we have 125 people watching, and we have 86 likes. We're just 14 more likes away. 200 likes, but we're shooting for 150 likes by the end of the show, and we can get there. And again, thank you very much for all the likes. And like I've told you, I'd prefer you liking the video than you donating to the channel. Again, I appreciate your support, you being part of the conversation, being in the chat, and also watching the video. those things mean more to me than you donating. And the likes also, now we have just 9 more likes to reach 100 likes. And if you haven't, please do subscribe to the channel and tell more people about the channel. Now, what else? I want us to talk about this player right here, Koulibaly. I'm not sure how serious we are about him. And Declared, I'll start with you. I'm not sure how serious we are about getting him to come to us. It just seemed as if we're not serious. First, we heard that we offered him a salary that's about 4 times more what Barcelona would be willing to pay him, or 3 times more. I'm not sure the number. Now we're hearing that Napoli are trying. They're offering him to Barcelona. So I spoke with somebody about it who says that may well be just nonsense or a strategy by Napoli, because they're telling us they want. What player again? I don't know if it was Amanda Broya or Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but this is one deal that one player that I've heard that we're interested in. That again, it's looking like we're going to miss out on. And the defensive department is one area we need experience, because if we're signing, we need to mix it up. We don't just get all young players. I Declared, your thoughts.
Well, there's a lot of speculation in what you said. I still want to know where Barca's getting all this money from. I mean, the most financial troubled club has the most money in the market apparently, and buying the most players. For one, we know that Napoli's owner is probably one of the hardest to deal with. They were rating this defender over 100 mil quite a few seasons ago, and now they probably still rate him just as highly. This is how everyone has to look at it. Chelsea has started the transfer window behind, right? If you look at some other clubs,
that's important to note.
Yeah, they already had their targets lined up beforehand. Look at Haaland, look at Nunes. These deals were done beforehand. A lot of deals that were done early were already done before the window was open. So we've come into the market late. We've change of board and ownership, right? Everyone's chipping in, and we're just going for... And we probably need we need the most numbers because of how many outgoings as well. So we are in for everyone. I mean, if you're going to say we're not serious, I think you got it completely wrong. I think we are inquiring about so many players just so we can get players. I mean, because there's never no guarantee that you're going to get a player. So if we want 5-6 players, we have to be in for over 10 players. Maybe 10-15 players we have to be in for. Maybe more, right? It's not this... Tuchel had this one target or 2 targets that he was set on back in January, and the club knew about it and they were going to go for him. No, everything's changed now, and we're starting behind. So there's a massive list of players that's on the market that Tuchel can think he can use and suit his system, and maybe even if it doesn't suit his system, it might be a gamble because of the limited market of players that we have. And these are the players that you know about. There's probably another handful of players, or just as many, that we haven't even heard about. But they're in for everyone.
Sorry, did we lose you?
No, sorry.
I
think I accidentally muted myself. So I was saying, they're in for everyone. And it's going to be a basis of we might not get our first choice, second choice, whatever, but Kounde amongst a whole bunch of defenders, Koulibaly is a name amongst many defenders. So we are in works with a whole bunch of deals, and whichever one we can throw money at. And I also believe it's not even about the best value. I believe that we probably overpay for some players just so we can get some players in. I mean, everyone knows we have to bring some players in. So every club knows, and every club can put a premium price. And I mean, we're trying to do trade deals as well. I mean, see the Juventus trade deal. If that's true, we'll probably come off worse in that deal. Do you know what I mean? The person we give away is not going to be rated as highly as he should. But as long as, I mean, someone like Werner, if he's wanting to leave and he's on high wages, then and we let him go for, I don't know, if they rate De Ligt 100 and we have to give 60, 70 mil, and they only rate Werner as 30 mil, but solves a whole bunch of other problems, something like that might even happen. I mean, it sounds like a bad deal, but to get deals over the line, I think Chelsea might have to pay a bit more. But we're in for everyone too, so see it turns out. Just like how we're in for Dembele and he's not sure. Do you know what I mean? We're in for Raphinha, he's not sure. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no guarantee you get a player even if you give him money.
Yeah, Tripoli says so the U.S. investment company Sixth Street is a rumor. Nobody is arguing that what you explained is a rumor. But from my research, I'm still saying they still have a problem, even if they get all those money. It will come back again in the near future. They'll still fall back to the same issues that they've been having. I don't know. I'll share the link to the video.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, so what is Barca's debt? Can you put it in there? And they got a debt accumulating every year. The money they sold the initial rights was 200. Anything after that hasn't been reported well. Every figure is different. What has been reported is that they got 200 million, but they're in debt far more than that, and it's accumulating debt every year, right? For them to spend heaps of money now, they have to reduce their wage bill. They're asking they still owe a lot of players. They still owe PK 50 mil. Barca's debt is way higher, right, than the money that just from the TV rights that they're selling off, and that TV rights is going to hurt him in the long run. Yeah, that's still they got 200 mil, but they got a way bigger problem than that.
Yeah,
so 200 mil is going to solve the problem. I bet all Barca have, to be honest, probably 100 mil to spend in the market.
Just to be fair, they're all the means of that is the calculations. I think he did Tripoli did the calculations overall. I think they get to nearly 800 plus. And I understand that, but after watching that
hasn't been reported yet. The only thing that's basing on it is that it's initial injection. And if people are speculating from the injection, right, to how much they're going to get in the end run, that detail's not out yet. But what is that?
Okay, we'll see what happens again. The whole thing, we're here to talk to transfers and not Barca's finances. After all, we have to.
I just quickly looked at it because I couldn't remember the numbers. Barca's debt include 390 mil just in player salaries. That's what already they're behind double that money injection they got just in wages. Right? That's what they owe. They owe players 400 mil. And if that 200 mil you think is going to cover that already, and they got a whole bunch of other problems. And this problem is going to happen every year. So to think they're going to spend heaps of money, ridiculous. They're trying to get the best value. They probably just got 100 mil to spend, right? And they're trying to get the best out of it. They thought they're getting Raphinha for 35 mil. They Kese, Christensen, they're getting free transfers here.
And still they're not able to still register him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's by the way, again, thank you for 99 likes. Just one more to get to 100. And we have 134 people watching. Again, we can do better than that. We're shooting for 150 likes. In a bit, we're going into building the lineup. But I want to get to what we have in the chat quickly to see what I can read. CR7 is good, but he's not a priority. I don't know why, but I have a feeling it's so hard for other players to thrive with Ronaldo in the team. I'd argue the same too. Again, it depends on the team. Again, he's used to the team being built around him. That's my argument. People see it differently, but that's where I see it. And I argued on a podcast, What Righteous podcast, that it's going to cost Manchester United more problems than than the Ghost is going to score for them. Good man. I will now subscribe to you. To Capo TV. Yep, he's been here a couple of times, and I'm looking forward to a collaboration with him. It's all banter, bro. Nothing but love from my side. I totally understand that. Thanks again. I appreciate it. It says I prefer Ronaldo to Neymar. Somebody else have also said that on the panel. I don't even think Tuchel wants a CR7. I don't think he does, because at the moment that rumors started swearing, we heard. So that's when it came. It came out. It was just yesterday. We also learned that Todd Boehly has promised not to sign any player that Thomas Tuchel doesn't want. So again, that makes sense. I don't think he wants him. I don't think he would want to deal with him, because I don't think it would be easy for him to deal with him if he joins Chelsea Football Club. A question for Declan: what if Ronaldo's big ego? Thank you. You're paying attention, so it's not just about me. Again, keep liking the video, guys. What if Ronaldo's big ego causes problems in the dressing room, and what if that gets a Tuchel fired? Because you said that. Once you said big ego, I said, yeah, there you go. Now someone else and the queen of the house caught you. Your response to what Josuela just asked you.
I answered it, and I asked, which manager has his ego gotten fired before? Because if anything, right, there's more chance of elevating the dressing room than causing problems. Yes, he's got an ego, but he backs that ego with performances, with goals. He's done it. He's 37. He's still doing it, right? He's come to a real bad Man United team and still did it. And he's quickly wanted out of there. Why would? Do you know he's making so much money at Man United? There has to be a bad environment over there for him to leave.
And also, while you are there, please talk about his wages.
Yeah, that's what will be massive. Whoever wants Ronaldo will have to pay quite a bit, but I don't think it'll be as high as what he's getting at Man United and the deal. But whoever goes for Ronaldo, is, it's going to be a marketing ploy. Even if Todd Boehly does it, he's going to sell so much stuff, get so much attention. It's going to be on the news everywhere about Chelsea. I mean, if you think about it, why wouldn't he want to go to like someone like Bayern, who are losing Lewandowski, and he can add another trophy to his collection that he doesn't have. I mean, Bayern are guaranteed to win the league, so I can see that happening too. But if we get him, I don't think it's because Tuchel wanted him. I think it's because Boehly wanted him, and he'll be a marketing tool. And that's why I said it'll be fun. It'll be fun to bat out the clubs. Fun just to see. Yeah.
Fun is the term that you used. Again, Ty, let me know if you're back. But that's, by the way, again, to the people in the chat, again, I appreciate all your support and thank you for 109 likes. But keep liking the video. We can do better than that. Gunplay, the gamer says, Coachila, one of the guys on the panel, should replace Czech and Marine at Chelsea. That's not a job I want. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. We need to replace both. I think they're gone already, if that's what you're talking about. Ronaldo didn't cause any dressing room issues at Manchester United. The dressing room was already falling apart. That's the truth. But did he make it better? No. And again, I wouldn't want to see a player in public calling out his teammates, and he did that. That's not okay for me. Okay, who's that just saying the names there? I'm not sure. Coach, I have to go. Okay, talk to you later. Do you think Chelsea can survive next season without a pure number 9? I think Ronaldo will be a good signing for Chelsea. He still has a lot. And by the way, I saw your other comment. If this is a close panel, again, it is for today, but I think I'll find a way. Let's connect on Twitter first. Louisa, let me get you in on this one. Your thoughts on this question here from Capo TV.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've been seeing people talk about how Chelsea will struggle to make top 4 if we don't sign this, if we don't sign that. Everybody's just being reactionary, especially after Liverpool signed Nunez and City signed Haaland, even though we know that those two teams already have the league on lockdown, and they still went out and got their own quote unquote super strikers. So I feel like we'll be fine if we don't get a pure number 9, as far as everybody knows what they are doing on the team, because they are all footballers. If the goal scoring is coming from every angle, we are going to become an unpredictable team, which is going to be even better for us, because if you get a pure number 9 whose sole job is scoring goals, by the time some teams have the number 9 on lockdown, most times that's why people don't go, and that's why most teams have forgone the number 9 situation. They just try and make sure that everybody in the front, then from the midfield, they start to contribute goals. And that was one of the reasons why Pep has been really successful for so long. Goals are coming from every angle. If you stop Sterling, you get Jesus. If you stop Jesus, you get even from the midfield, from KDB, even Foden sometimes gets in on the action. I don't think we'll be in trouble if we don't get a pure number 9. Where we will find our trouble is if we don't create more, if we don't find a way to create more chances. If we are creating chances, we have people scoring those chances. We get Chilwell back in top form. Imagine if we got beginning of the season Chilwell back, that would be great for us. If we get Reece James back and is able to be fit for the whole season, that would be great for us. But it depends on what you call struggle. First of all, I feel like Chelsea should still make the top 4. I don't think we'll win the league, but we'll make the top 4. We should be able to get out of the Champions League group stage. It just depends on your markup for struggle. If you mean we might not get a trophy, you could be right, because as it is, from the squad we have in place and the potential coming in, I don't really see us having a trophy by next season. But we shouldn't really struggle as we're a terrible team. We wouldn't be Man United 2022 bad, but we should be fine.
What a reference. But that's the way. Again, thank you for 113 likes. Keep liking the video, guys. Thank you. You guys are absolute legend. I cannot thank you enough. Right now, the question which says the poll, who is Kounde? 71% says De Ligt and 29% says Kounde. So it's not even close. It's a landslide, by the way. But again, I suspected it was going to be like that. Tobago, are you still with us?
Yes.
Your thoughts? Do you think you can see from Capo TV on the screen? You can see what he wrote there. Your thoughts on that?
He said Chelsea will Chelsea survive without a pure number 9.
Yeah.
I think people should research about Thomas Tuchel. If you've seen Tuchel's teams, but Tuchel doesn't play with a number 9. He likes to play as a cross-line machines, or at least number 9 that can move around. Just like, for example, I'll use Jesus as an example, because he is able to play multiple positions up front there. So we can survive very well without a pure number 9. And I don't think we should concentrate on replacing Lukaku with another striker. We should just build our team and wait until we get a number 9 that will help Tuchel in coming seasons. But for now, no big name signings on strikers, please. So again, as you said, coach, Tuchel bench Cavani and Icardi from Mbappe and Neymar as number 9s. So clearly you can see Tuchel doesn't like a pure number 9. So yes, we can survive it.
Yep, and Capo, you have the answer there. Thomas Tuchel is not known to use traditional number 9s effectively. If you follow him, I think I always try to avoid his reign at Mainz because I didn't follow him that much. But at least from Borussia Dortmund to PSG, he doesn't like to use traditional number nines, even when he has some of the best in the world available to his at his disposal. He hardly uses them that much. Again, for instance, he had Cavani and Icardi at PSG, but he didn't use them that much. And at Borussia Dortmund, he had what's his name? This guy that played for Arsenal and now plays for Barcelona. The Togo International, I think Congo. He's still he's not a traditional number nine. Aubameyang, he's not a traditional number nine, but as the type of number nines he uses, you have to be very dynamic. You have to be hybrid. You should be able to like drop get involved in the play and all that. Again, I don't know. You can't even. There's no perfect definition for his preferred. No, you can't define what you will say is Thomas Tuchel's preferred. That is perfect number nine. But overall, the argument is he doesn't use traditional number nines, and that's why I've been arguing it would be a big mistake after the departure of Romelu Lukaku, how he treated Tammy Abraham. You could say Giroud wanted to leave, but how he treated him too. I don't think it would make sense to spend money to get him another number nine. If he proves me wrong, I'd take it. Again, there's an argument. People would argue that teams and managers more and more are starting to use less and less of traditional number nines. They want a more fluid attack rather than having a point of reference for goal scoring and all that. But that's, by the way, anybody has any final thoughts on the players we've talked about, or anybody wants to talk about anything regarding Sterling? But let me give you a bit of an update from what I'm reading. I think the deal is progressing. I think just a few details are needed to sort out for it to be complete. And we're hearing that he's put his house up for sale. He wants to sell it to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and that's a good sign that the deal may well, come to fruition. Anybody on the panel want to add anything about the Raheem Sterling talks or rumors, or maybe his imminent arrival to Chelsea? All right, I think you want to say anything, Declan? Go ahead.
Ladies first. Ladies first.
Sorry?
Ladies first.
Oh, ladies first. Okay, Louisa, you go ahead.
Oh no! From what I've been seeing and checking up on so far, the Sterling deal seems pretty done already, and just a matter of time before we do get him. So hopefully we get him like during this week while entering, so that he can at least be available for our preseason matches, so that we can know what we're getting, and he can try to acclimate to the team setup before the season starts fully.
Anybody else, anything before we go into the lineups?
I gotta be honest, Coach. I missed the play that you're talking about.
We're talking about Raheem Sterling. The update
I
is
assumed
his arrival is imminent. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think. I mean, out of all the deals, Sterling one's been pretty solid. I mean, I think someone mentioned that what was holding it up was that we were also doing the Aki deal with it, which I think maybe is.
But I'm hearing it's separate.
That deal. It's separate, but it helps. Do you know what I mean? So if you're bidding for Sterling, and we're paying more for Aki, which is probably a bigger help to Man City than Sterling, then they're all right to let Sterling go for maybe less. I mean, it's separate, but for they're both negotiated together, if that makes sense, because we're still trying to find the fee. But the Sterling one, I don't think had doubt or any time. It was just slowly,
materializing.
Yeah. So either we're going for all the targets, or either whoever came in first, Sterling, Raphinha, Dembele, if we're after one. But I think we're after multiple. I mean,
And I'm hearing we want
going
Zinchenko too.
I can't see him giving up Zinchenko. He would be great. He would be
But
great.
we're hearing the player himself wants to leave.
I hope so, and I hope we get him. He's a good player, versatile as well. For Man City to lose a player like that in a season like this, I mean, in a season like this, it's not about the first 11 this season. There's already too many games. There's a World Cup. There's 5 subs. You need a good 25-man team. That's what you need. And if Man City's at losing a player like, you know, even Ake is maybe a loss, or who knows for them, but they're losing their depth, which was rated pretty well.
And Pep likes to keep a large squad.
Yeah, and maybe financial fair play doesn't allow them to, or maybe they're gonna bring in a lot more players than we think. But Zinchenko has been a great squad player for him, and started a lot of games too. So I feel he's a good player. If we can get him, he'll be a great player for us.
Yeah, I think he will. Anybody else on the panel, anything about that? I want to skip a whole lot of stuff. Again, I declared he would stay till the World Cup gets over and would want to leave next season. Yeah, I think she's talking about Ronaldo there. I'm going to skip quite a lot, and I'm just going to go Jorginho not being discussed as part of the Ligt deal. Yep. Again, all the rumors that Juve wanted a team, I was thinking maybe that's... But again, I just want De Ligt. No matter how the club wants to do it, I want De Ligt at the club. He's young, which means he's going to be with us for a long time. I'm going to skip to the bottom. I could care less who took it once. I think I'm way far too behind. I'm going to skip to the bottom. And again, thank you to everybody. And my apologies if I skipped your comments. If I keep trying to read them all, then I will be stuck with reading them until, you know, yep, you're way behind the chat. Nick left like an hour ago. Yep, I knew. Again, but very soon we will integrate a studio engineer into the process, and that will make the whole thing easier for me. Again, it says, do you have the opportunity to take a screener who is among the top 3 defenders in the world? You want De Ligt? We didn't have the opportunity. I think there's a reason why Thomas Tuchel prefers De Ligt, and I don't think Inter didn't agree to sell. They didn't agree to sell Skriniar to us. I think they're more likely to sell them to PSG than us. But we'll see what happens. Chikazi, nice to see you here. Says he always wants all the attack to be scoring goals, not to depend on one player scoring goal. Again, that makes sense. And again, let's go to the lineup building. And I'm going to share what we had here before. Just give me a second and I'll come back to this in a bit. Right, people, this is what we had here before. And if you're in the chat, we'll try to bring you in. We were not able to finish it up to the attack. But the good thing is that we agreed as the transfer market progresses, as we get a clearer understanding of what the club is doing in the market, we make changes to the lineup. So it's not complete until the transfer window shuts. So now we're going to start from the goalkeeping department again. That's important because Nathan Baxter, I think we sold him or he left on loan again. What was the situation again?
Loan.
He was loaned out. So now who do we put in his place again? Probably Kepa Arrizabalaga. But I still do think Kepa will leave by the end of the window. So if you're in the chat, you let us know who you think will be, let me say, the second choice goalkeeper at Chelsea, since Nathan Baxter isn't there. And since I strongly believe that Kepa will leave the club. But Louisa, you can come in.
On who we should get as our second choice goalkeeper. That was why I was kind of stunned when you guys were saying what's his name? When you were saying Kepa was leaving, because who Kepa is actually like the best second choice to have, but that's the American goalkeeper we signed from. I think I've forgotten the club we signed him from, but
Chicago Fire, I think so.
No.
yeah.
We haven't seen
Oh,
him.
Chicago Fire is the name of a TV show. Is that a name of a club in America too?
Yeah, it is.
Oh wow. Anyways, it felt like that was the guy. Yeah.
You're going to get into a lot of trouble. We haven't signed him yet.
We haven't.
No, it's not complete yet.
Yes.
But go ahead.
Wow. So I feel like if Kepa, it depends on what's going to happen. If Kepa is leaving, then it depends on if we do sign the goalkeeper from Chicago Fire. So, definitely, I don't think Neta Baxter is going to be our second choice. I don't see Nathan Baxter being the second choice. But let's see what happens. So definitely Mendy first choice. Kepa, it depends on who comes after Kepa. I feel like Kepa might not want. There are some clubs Kepa might not agree to go to, so we might still end up seeing Kepa here for at least one more year. I don't know what his plan is for this.
Here's the thing. I remember when I argued, that when I argued that Hakim Ziyech may well leave Chelsea Football Club, some people thought otherwise. But again, I recognize the fact that if the club doesn't want him to leave because they're not able to bring in a replacement, he's not going to leave. But that leaves room for him to run down his contract and leave free. But that's by the way. I understand if the club doesn't want to sell Kepa, he stays, but he will run down his contract and leave on a free. But I also think that Kepa Arrizabalaga there's the likelihood of him taking a pay cut to move to another club where he starts games because it's a World Cup year and he's a Spanish international. That's a chance he takes a pay cut. And he loves the game. If you see that is, I think he's a good goalkeeper and should be starting. There's so many clubs. Remember, Real Madrid actually wanted him. But Zidane didn't just fancy him. And I don't want to get into the argument, him and Edouard Mendy, who's a better goalkeeper. I don't want to do that today. But anybody else on the panel, who do you think will be the second choice goalkeeper? You go ahead.
You have to put Kepa there.
You
think he stays?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that you said. And I think Louis said it's a World Cup year. Even though that even if we sign that American keeper from the MLS team, I don't think he becomes.
No, I think even if we sign, he's too young. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so even if we sign him, I think he's a lone player. I think that the factor that keeps Kepa here, the problem with Kepa is his wages, right? But the other balance to Kepa's wages is Mendy's really low wage. Now we're meant to give new contracts, but if for some reason we don't give Mendy an up deal, then there's a balance. We can keep Kepa on his big wage, and we can keep Mendy on his low wage, right? And then we can progress the year and work it out next year. But like you brought up that news, if we pick up someone, maybe Kepa, that's a sign of Kepa on his way out. Because I'm pretty sure by now Kepa wants to play. And yeah. I heard that I think there was a voting at Atletico Bilbao of a new president, and one of them, who I think if someone won, they were going to bring Bielsa back there, and they got a transfer policy of recruiting from certain areas in Spain, and Kepa comes from those certain areas, so they would be really keen to get Kepa back, just because of how they recruit, and he's actually valuable to them, and it will take a lot of wage sacrifice and probably on Chelsea's behalf too to contribute to make that happen. But I can also see him staying for one more season.
There's a chance that happens. There's also a chance he leaves, but we'll see what happens. And again, we're looking at this goalkeeper. There's one goalkeeper also. I don't know if that was the goalkeeper that I just showed on the screen was the one that said He's happy to be linked with Chelsea Football Club, a big club as Chelsea. And again, thank you for 118 people watching and 116 likes. That's not easy. You guys are absolute legends. Please keep liking the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I think we've gained nearly 30 likes this evening, and that's not easy. I sincerely do appreciate that. We will reach 4,000 subscribers in a few days. I sincerely do believe that also. And what else do we have in the chat here? Since I'm all caught up, they said we haven't signed the kid yet. That's the truth. And here, True Blue says US goalkeeper Slonina is 18, won't be number 2. That's just the truth. Even if we sign him, no matter how good it is, I think he'd remain at the club for a few more years before it will bring him in, or he go out on loan. Again, you don't know. Inter needs to collect 16 million because Inzaghi cannot put any money. We have to sell a heavy one. Okay. Says, how can I join the studio? Again, Chigozie, you have to connect with me on Twitter. Again, Chelsea Perspective, find it and let me know it's you. And then next time you get the chance to join here. Says Bilbao is in the Basque region. Okay. Now, coming back to the lineup now. So people in the chat thinks 54% thinks Kepa stays and 46% thinks he leaves. So let's go with that. Let's go with that. Yeah, he stays. So Kepa now will be the second choice goalkeeper here. Again, like the good thing about this thing we're doing here is that as the transfer market progresses, as we get a clearer picture of what the club wants to do, if there's a need to change the second choice goalkeeper, we will do that. So Kepa remains there. Again, for the right-hand side, we had Kounde there. I think these two you can argue is still correct. If you're on the panel, if you think otherwise, you let me know. The right centre-back position.
I feel like at the moment, Kounde De Ligt is more probable than Kounde right now.
Or maybe even Gabriel.
Sorry, you say Vadio for what? Take him off? Is that what you're saying?
No, Luis got a point. The Ligt's links are now stronger. He has to be there, and it's more stronger than Kounde, and Kounde links are still probably more stronger than Gabriel because we haven't heard anything about that. Or maybe you have to put Koulibaly up there now. Gabriel's we haven't heard anything since. Kounde's kind of died off. The Ligt's the big one all over the news, so maybe he's the new one you have to add in, and maybe Koulibaly. So okay, maybe it has to be Koulibaly and De Ligt and Silva. Yeah, Luis?
Who and Silva?
Yeah, I agree. No, Silva, De Ligt, and Koulibaly.
Okay, let's start with the midsection here. We have Silva and we have Koulibaly. Which of the two? Because we haven't heard much about Koulibaly of late.
Isn't Koulibaly more recent news now?
No. It's been quite a while since we heard anything. The next thing we heard, we'll hear in a few days. That was yesterday and the day before that Napoli has offered him to Barcelona.
So I think take out Gabriel and put De Ligt there. So De Ligt.
Yeah, because he can play on that side too.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, in terms of transfer news, maybe that's the best way to do it. If there's another defender. Yep,
if there's need to bring anybody back in, we can always do that. Do you agree, Tavago?
Yes, 100% I agree because the Jules Kounde deal just slowed down now, so we are not sure about him anymore. So De Ligt will be no, De Ligt as a left wing. Left center back. No.
Let's do what? So you're fine with the back three?
I'm not fine as De Ligt as a left center back. I think he will play.
He can play there comfortably. If you do a research and check the games he's played for Juventus, in some cases, if they play three at the back, in some cases he starts on the left-hand side, sometimes on the right-hand side, sometimes in the middle.
Wow.
But do I think Thomas Tuchel will be signing him to play on the left? I don't think so. So you may have an argument here, but
no, you sign him to play anywhere, coach. You just answer your own question. You sign him because he can play anywhere. If we want to change it, he can still play in a back four. But in a back three, he can play along the the three centre backs in every position, which is
so let's just keep him there. If there's any need to change him, we'll do so. And if you're in the chat, let us know your opinion. I'm going to find a way to get you guys involved. Again, here, Adam says, Kepa has been a problem for us. I will remember the Super Cup and the Europa League, but far more negative. We will be lucky. And I honestly, Adam, I love you, brother. I'd like you to really elaborate how he's been, how it's been far more negative with Kepa Arrizabalaga. Again, I really want to know. Educate me on that. So you want to make money from us again, huh? Can you explain just Viola? Kounde and Raphinha wouldn't count on them too. Again, we can make changes as the transfer window progresses. If anything changes, we will do. The Ligt of Silva. The Ligt can also start here. So why do we have? Is there any need to remove Koulibaly here? Because we haven't heard much.
No. You know, I think the best way to do this lineup, I think how maybe the transfer news should be linked. So the fact that Koulibaly news has been cooled down, maybe he should just sit there. Yeah.
And we haven't heard about it. Okay. I'm just helping Just Viola kill me here, but I caught it. And we haven't heard about any other person we think can lead the back, but the lead can actually lead the back line. Yeah, but let's leave it like this. As we get clearer picture of all the club's activities in the market, then we know what to do. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. It might not be exact, like Thiago didn't like the lead on the left. I mean, it's not important when we're just talking about who we're probably linked with, rather than what we look like. So the fact that De Ligt and Kounde, maybe they're two defenders we're the most linked with, so maybe we leave it like that, and we know someone like Silva can start. Because who knows? De Ligt comes in, maybe Silva becomes a big part player. Maybe he doesn't play as many games, and maybe he's not a guaranteed starter anymore. I mean, that just opens a whole...
Yep. We still have how many days more? Quite a long time to go. So if there's any need to make changes there, I get your point. And Eric says it has been reported recently that Chelsea are interested in Koulibaly, so let's leave him there. And he even if we get him and get the lead, there's a chance the lead starts in the middle and Koulibaly on the left. But we'll see. Simon Phillips says Juve are pushing hard to sign Koulibaly as a replacement for the lead.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
That's a good
sorry,
one.
Coach. I've seen some links that Chelsea might have to go into like an agreement with Juventus that if they do get delayed, they won't go after Koulibaly because Juve wants to get Koulibaly for.
Yep, they want a replacement, and if you allow us to take him, you take this guy because it happens. Anybody on the panel want to say anything about that?
No, it sounds really
no issue with that.
Yeah,
welcome back, Ty.
Yeah, Ty, welcome back. He probably napped off for a while and then joined us whenever he was.
I had to do some chores.
No, just kidding, bro. Yeah, I understand. I was just kidding. Yeah. So now we can say, okay, we're good with that one. Let me see if anybody in the chat thinks otherwise. Thank you for that update there, Liam Lane again. But we're just going to leave Koulibaly here and we'll see how serious that is with Juve. If Juve is getting him, then we make changes as necessary. If the lead comes, why play the lead at left centre back when he turns like a truck? Again, that's your argument, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, Dembele not leaving Barcelona. That's what you think. How can I get your Twitter handle? It is go to the channel, click on the channel name. If you're on YouTube now, you see the Twitter handle. You can also follow us on Facebook. It is Chelsea at Chelsea Perspect. It's not Perspective completely because there are too many letters. I had to cut it off. Just 3 minutes ago. Remove Emerson and put Maxwell Connett remove Dest and add. Yeah, we get into that area and put Klaus. We get to those areas. I'll lay in an Inter fan.
I put Raphinha there.
The Ligt is far warrior again. Says Sabika, fed up of this Kepa Europa Cup. Go to 6 final, finish a third with Sarri and Lampard destroying him. For Lampard, it's ineptness as a defensive coach. Look at Everton. That's the truth. Talks Chelsea watching De Jong. I'm not into hijacking anymore, please. To 6 other finals. Yep, that's the truth. He cannot join Juve because he's a direct Serie A rival. But it has happened. It has happened. But we see. Now, let's go to here. Let's start with Bobby because he's just joined. Emerson is looking more likely he's going to leave because he wants to be guaranteed a starting place, which was why he went out on loan in the first place. And what was the Pac-Man suggestion again? Where is it? Remove Emerson and put Maxwell Cornet. I'm not sure about that. Anybody on the panel, your thoughts on what we should do, or should we leave that one as is at the moment?
The thing about Emerson is, if Emerson is going to leave, it's most likely to somewhere where we could get someone like probably Emerson for to Lazio to meet Sarri, and we try to get Savic in, like, not a trade deal, but since we are doing business with you for this person, you should be open to doing business with us for this other person. So if we are removing Emerson, Savic is coming in, and where does Savic fit into this formation, do you think?
Savic is we're talking about the left wing back position.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, because if we're removing Savic because if we're removing Emerson, because Emerson looks like is already 1 foot out the door. If we're removing Emerson, Savic is coming in.
Yeah, I think DJ Sterling played there. Sterling played there in last pre-season, didn't he? If I remember right. This is going way back. I think
Dusan Sterling. Is he?
It was tweaked a bit, but I think he might have ended up on that side for a bit.
Ty, your thoughts on this one? Yeah, go ahead, Bobby.
I've just joined, so I'm kind of trying to catch up with what you're doing. But you know me, I don't go for all this kind of thinking. I'm not in. What are we becoming? What's going on here? We've come to this club. We're becoming this club that's interested in the strength of other clubs. We are here to win, to dominate. That's our aim. We're not interested, or we should not be interested in the strengths of other clubs. That's why finances and all this player swapping and that is not the way in Europe. That might be the American way. It's not our way. Strong clubs go to buy the best players to the
Okay, so what's your suggestion, Bobby? Because we're building lineup now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I came in late, so I'm hearing stuff and I'm thinking, what are these guys on about? But go on.
No, I understand. No, I know.
We're at the fun bit.
If you look at the list of players that turned up for pre-season at Cobham, you should be extremely concerned. And even about 4 or 5 of those players aren't going to stay. So all this sell him United, considering City, it's irritating the hell out of me. I'm thinking, what's happening to my club? All we're doing is talking about getting rid of this player, considering this player. We need to do deals. That squad is deplenished, and we are heading for the bottom 3 if we go into a season like this. It is that serious.
Okay, Bobby, I get your frustration, but I think you followed the whole situation. The conundrum, the sale of the club, the restrictions and all that. You're quite well aware. You're well aware that we weren't allowed to talk to players, get them to put pen to papers. We have restrictions strictly designed to stop us from doing those things. And believe me, I think we're fine. Just remember, I told you that. But I know you're frustrated. Again, I get your frustration. But right now, we're trying to build a lineup. Again, what were you saying on the left-hand side?
Look, I think I was just speculating who can be a name that you can throw there, because it sounds like Emerson wants to leave, and he doesn't want to play second fiddle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he wants to leave. Alonso's going as well.
yeah, so I mean, Alonso is one that was probably going a long time ago.
So the name we can put there at the moment is Jules Sterling. If anything changes, we'll make an adjustment.
No, Jules Sterling was like a tester when he played there. I think he played left and right, and I think too good, but he did all right. I think in the preseason you might see him again there.
We'll leave Emerson until he leaves.
We haven't got a name to put there. Leave it right.
I know, that's why I was like reaching for a player that I remember playing preseason that Tuchel tested it, that actually did all right. I mean, he might do it again in this preseason games. You might see it again in a weird way. I mean, is Kennedy still with us, or I'm thinking I don't see him staying too.
Kennedy's still there. I saw him in the picture for the preseason.
Maybe he's the name that sticks around in the squad.
Here's the thing. I think he comes in the same category of players that, like Bobby said, about 7 of them or so will still leave. It falls into that category of players that may well end up leaving by the end of preseason, but we don't know. So I'd say let's leave Emerson there. But as we get clearer picture of what's going to happen, or if we're going to get at the bottom 3, like Bobby said, we still make changes. That's why we say that this lineup is not finished until the transfer window shuts. What do you think? Because we can't put Kennedy ahead of Emerson.
The longer we leave this transfer window, the harder it is to get players, the more expensive they will be, especially people like Declan Rice, and the more trouble we're going to be in. That's what I think. We can't even put up a team sheet. Look at what we're doing here. Ifs and buts, maybes, and so on and so on. That is an example of where we are.
Yeah, Bobby, because the transfer window is still open.
Is there a preseason list?
Yeah, it started yesterday.
It started already.
Yeah, have they named like all the players?
Yeah, they have. That's what I was saying. I looked at the list of the players in preseason, and I am deeply concerned. We don't have a team. Full stop. We don't have a team. We've got all these players going out, all these negotiations taking place to nothing, and we're in chaos. And all this, let's see, it's not going to happen. There's going to be. I'm tired of there's going to be's, and I want things to be. There's a limit to how much talk you can talk. This is the 3rd week of the transfer window.
And that's the thing. We can't change anything here, Bobby. We have to do with what we have. Right now, we're building a lineup, and like we said, it's dynamic. We get to change this as things change, we change it. So let's move to the right-hand side right now. Again, I was going to ask that Jules Sterling plays on the right, not on the left, and I think True Blue corrects us. I think instead of Des, let's have him here.
I think True Blue missed what I said. He was tested there. He played on both. Tuchel, he actually did, when he put him on the left as well in that game, he actually did it pretty well. I mean, it just goes to show that he wasn't rigid to only one side. I mean,
okay, I don't think we'll touch anything here in the middle, because we haven't seen anything that shows something will change there. Anybody on the panel has anything to say about that?
Yeah, no, you can leave it. Like I said, I think the way you're going about it is with the links, yeah?
Yeah, sadly, that's true. And that's all the more reason why we're going to be in big trouble. Because that's the biggest problem.
Bobby, I disagree. We're not going to be in big trouble. I think we'll be fine. You're really frustrated, and I get that. I understand. Wow.
Go into the next season with that midfield and see what's going to happen.
Bobby.
Declan, you should see. Are you following Bobby's tweets?
I want to now.
Oh, no, you won't.
Yes. Seriously, what is that midfield?
I asked them to appoint me as the director of football. I'm sick of this nonsense.
But I understand his frustration. But then again, I think we will be all right. And just remember, I told you that. So let's go to the 8s. I think Mount and Gallagher, for me, remain there. On the right-hand side, I think is where we have a problem. Anybody on the panel want to say anything on that?
Which the right
The 2 8s. The 2 8s.
You
This
need
one
to,
here.
You need to pick off Dembele for sure.
Sterling's name gets there, doesn't it?
Who?
Sterling.
Oh yeah, he comes into play for sure. Where? And he prefers to stay on the left. He's where? Somebody start me with it. Where do we place him?
Yeah,
on
next
the left.
to Dembele.
Did you say on the left side? Explain. If you anywhere you decide we're going to put Sterling, explain why.
That's the side that he's mostly good on, and that's most. Last season obviously played him in the center still, and then sometimes he plays him on the left. So I think the most important thing is that he'll be on the left because that is his preferred side and that is his best side. So I think the left is the.
I get that tie, but in the system, someone like Mount or Gallagher has to play and drop in the middle.
They don't have to. They don't have to.
They have to. You know why they have to? No. They have to. Do you know why? Everyone plays with midfield free, correct? And if no one drops in to make that midfield free, so I'll give you how important it was. Do you know when Loftus-Cheek played right wing back? You know how he played right wing back? He didn't play right wing back up and down. He played a right wing back where he was out wide, and instead of going up, he tucked into the midfield. So Mount didn't have to come back.
His primary was, he played with the midfield mainly. It wasn't.
So regardless of who did it, right? Someone has to come in. So it's a free-on-free battle, at least with another team. Or else, if no one comes in and makes the free, Kovacic and Jorginho in this scenario, whoever the two are going to get outnumbered. So tactically, someone has to come back. Now, if that's Dembele, all right. If that's Sterling, all right. But why Mount plays so much is because he has that mold of him. His main role is that midfielder more than one of the attacks. That's why he always plays. Gallagher is almost in the same mold. So now we have two players that can do it. But if you want to take that out and put Sterling there and no one comes back, that's going to be a tactical problem. But I agree with everything you said about where he plays and what his best position is. But one of those three have to do that role. If no one does it, then if no one does it, right? If no one does it, then someone else has to do it. One of the wing backs have to come in, right? But then there's another issue there. So maybe Tuchel changes it and one of the wing backs are now tucking into the midfield. Do you know what I mean?
This is why
someone has to do it.
This is why Basuma, Calvin Phillips, Declan Rice, all these big tough guys in the midfield are gonna mess you up with your little weaklings in there that can't do damn shit. We need reinforcements. We've got nobody. We can't go into a season with that midfield. They're not good enough.
Calm down, Bobby. Calm down. It may well change entirely. You see that. Just calm down, Bobby. Calm down. We'll be all right. Calm down, okay? I understand your frustration. Again, I've said it 1,000 times. And I'll keep checking your tweets. They're as hilarious as they are. So they can give. That is the light-minded heart attack. I have to be serious with you. Again, we have a problem here right now. These two guys, I don't think we'll be starting at the same time. Does anybody on the panel think differently?
Gallagher Mount?
Yeah.
Depends on the game.
Unless,
No, they won't. They won't.
No, you can have Mount and Gallagher, depending on the scenario. Yeah. I don't know. You never know if something changes, if Gallagher gets to play in the middle. It's going to be interesting because, I mean, Gallagher was tested in that middle role. I'd hate to see him be one of the pivots. I'm actually I'm keen to see preseason how he uses them. I mean, if something happened to Dembele and Sterling, you could have Mount and Gallagher as part of the two attack. That's when you can see them both. I mean, if teams are out of form, they can do it. I know you don't want to see it, but like, if we lost Dembele to injury,
they're similar.
Dembele is already signed for Barcelona too.
No, he hasn't. That's all doo from Laporta. Don't mind him. Yeah.
Wow, They're really reaching. They're reaching.
He
Barca.
hasn't. He actually openly said that they listen to this sentence now. That they will try the best. That's a video I'll share with you so you watch it. They will try the best they can. They will share the best they can. Listen to what he said to keep the young, but he has to take a pay cut in public.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And then think about the Dembele's case. He's saying that they're hopeful that they're going to strike a deal, and both parties are up. That's absolute nonsense. Because if really, again, I'm not going to agree that that's going to happen until I see it happen. That's the whole situation. Because why weren't they able to get him to put to extend?
So why haven't we moved in then? What are we
It's not that
for?
simple. We've already tried. We've already tried with something lower than what he earns at Barcelona.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's the thing.
For this anymore.
So it's not that simple. So what are we doing on the left hand side? Do we still leave them as the two rotating players there, Mount and Gallagher? And then what do we do here? We have Sterling for sure. Again, I wouldn't say for sure because we don't know.
So then put Sterling and Dembele name as backup then. Oh, no,
okay, so we start. Sterling for sure. We can say Sterling for sure. Let's just put him on. We can actually move the position, moving to the left or to the right. We're just assuming we're going to play three at the back.
Oh my
you
gosh,
never know.
no.
Usually, but go ahead, Ty, make your point.
I don't understand. Whenever Sterling's on that right, he's not as effective. Most of the goals that he scores is him being on the left or central. That's the way that he's going.
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference. You can switch both of them. Doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, he switches positions quite a lot.
Yeah, but I'm saying that most of the goals he scores, sometimes he'll start on the right and then he'll shift over to the left. That is thing because he doesn't stay on one side. So sometimes he'll be on the left and then he'll switch over to the right. Even for England, he does that. And him and James will be working with each other.
Yeah, so let's just leave him here. Let's leave him here. If there's a need to move him to the left, we'll do that. And again, I say let's leave Dembele out of that position at this point because there's no indication Pulisic is leaving at this point. All those things we're hearing, they're all rumors. There's nothing serious. But for the case of we left out Hakim Ziyech because we were pretty sure he was going to leave, and we gave reasons why. And now we're talking with AC Milan are confident they're going to get him. And it looks like we're talking with them anyway. So I think we should leave Pulisic there as a rotating player with Sterling. Your guy, anybody on the panel think otherwise?
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, you got the Ligt and Kounde there.
This is sad.
But
it is. It's not straightforward. Go ahead.
But guys,
can you have
Pulisic
3 names then?
And Sterling.
No, just 2.
Pulisic and Sterling prefers playing on the left, so putting them on the right. No, man, that it don't work.
No, okay, we can move them. That's not an issue. It's simple. I'll just drag this to the left, drag this to the right. Like I said before, if need be, we can always move them. So, but who is going to be with Sterling here? That's not an issue. Yeah, the position isn't an issue right now. But who's the person that's going to be? Sorry.
Everyone's so hung up about it.
Yeah. So it's done now. I hope we're fine.
I don't know. I think you got to put Mount and that in the middle, I guess. I mean,
let's just go by usually the structure we've seen more often during the course of the season.
Yeah. It's a hard one. I think Dembele's name should be there, just like how we have other transfer names there.
Okay, maybe if anybody, let's talk about this now. Of all the players we have in the team, one of the players that can play the false 9 role. Now let's lay. If we sign Sterling, he's one of the guys that can play the false 9 role better than any other guy in our team right now. So why not move Sterling away?
No, he can't play better than the guys we have now. I think the 2 names.
No, except for Havertz.
Yeah. And Broja, I think those 2 will do that role better than Sterling.
And that's why this is not simple. Because Borja, Borja may still be in the fold.
You need to be able to add 3 names.
It's just 2 at this point.
I know that's why that's making it hard. I mean, in the day we are building.
Okay, but even if there are 3, there are 2. You have them in this order: 1, 2, 3. The first one the better, the second best, and the third person.
Yeah.
So what do we do with this position now? Is it starting in who? Pulisic, or you saying Dembele? But Dembele, given the way it's going,
Pulisic hasn't left, and Sterling's the strongest link. Dembele should be there too, but I mean that's how you'd have to rank it, wouldn't you?
Okay, maybe let's just start with what we have here. If there's a need to change it, I would change it. It's that simple.
Hey, Pulisic played right wing back. We'll throw him back there.
Okay, here's another one here. Yeah, that's another shout. That's another shout. Maybe here he can start from here, and he's done that before. And it's not like he's there to defend. And he's played as one of the 8s before against Tottenham. He played as one of the 8s, and he executed the role very well. So that's why I'm thinking maybe at this point, just move Raheem Sterling as one of the false 9s there, as a number 9s, and then make room to accommodate somebody like Callum and Dembele. So anybody on the panel, your thoughts?
Yeah, if that works.
No, but let's get the opinion of those on the panel. Your guy, I'm listening.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I heard, but I'm listening. If someone else wants to say something.
So, I thought
we can't really add to that, can we?
Yeah.
No, we can at this point. But here's this thing. These 2 guys can actually play false 9 role, yeah? But that's not Pulisic's strongest suit, but he's played that before, and 2 of them can fulfill that role. So now we have to accommodate Kai Havertz as one of the 8s there.
Yeah.
One of the 8s, but who is the second person here? You can also accommodate Kai here. Then as a transfer, as we get a clear understanding of the club's activities in the transfer window, then we can make changes as we deem fit, objectively actually. So what do you think about this movement here?
There's no argument. My concern still remains that we've got a very weak midfield supporting whatever we put up there, which makes it blunt. That's why we're not scoring, because our weak field is not dominant. No strength, no physicality, nothing. So it is what
Bobby,
it is.
you talked about Ian Maatsen. I think True Blue just breaks it up. What do you think about him?
Ian Maatsen?
Yeah.
Ian Maatsen's a good left wing back, but he's a kid. Another, weak little player. He's fine, but I hear we're going to send him out again on loan anyway. I don't think, unless he pulls up trees in pre-season, I don't think he'll come into the season in the squad. I would love to see it, but I don't think so. Especially with Levi Colwill around, it's going to be quite tricky. And he doesn't have the physicality. Our biggest problem right now in the defensive and midfield areas, not helped by the gaps, is a lack of physicality. And whether we like it or not, the Premier League is about physicality. If you lose the physical battle, you lose the game. And if you go back to when we played Everton at Goodison, when they were desperate, they beat us up that day on the pitch. They just beat us up everywhere. We had no physical response. And that's where we're heading to next season. So, yeah, it's good for us to make a team out of what we got, but I feel disillusioned. Each time I see those names on this paper, I'm like, oh my God, where are we heading?
Here's the thing. I think.
Sorry.
Thank you. For the way this is right now, I think we're better off having Kai Havertz here, and these 2 guys can fulfill the false 9 role or play in that position. I think we have good fluidity here, and we have energy here with these two guys. The pressing.
If you want a more accurate, coach, put Mount in the middle and have Havertz and Sterling at the top.
And have who?
That's you put two up top, and then Mount in the middle. I mean,
and how often has he played that like that?
Oh, if you really want to see our attacking phase, this is what it looks like. And Chilwell on the left, James on the right, and that's what it looks like. If that's how.
So this is what you're suggesting for the front.
It's all interchangeable. I mean, if you're gonna get semantics about little positions, or he over here, he over there. I mean, on the field, right? You put Chilwell up, you put James up, right? And that's what it looks like on the field, right? Not on the paper here. You know, like when you select formation, if you're twisting around who should go where, right? And all those three should be, interchangeable. But Mount drops off the most out of the three.
This structure here.
Yeah, and then the structure that you're looking at now is kind of when we're defending. So Mount will come back a little deeper. If we need only Havertz at top, then Sterling will come a bit deeper too, and they'll press. The two up top would press. Chilwell will tuck in a bit. James will tuck in not too wide. It's not like full Conte. So yeah, but when we attack, put Chilwell higher, James higher, and that's a 5 attack like that. I mean, that's why you don't really want a box-to-box midfielder, because that's not really who joins in unless Tuchel gets that and then tells one of the wing-backs to sit back. A player could tweak this system, but I mean, that's why I said there's no reason to get in semantics of which little spot over there, because this is how we play.
Yeah, okay, if we leave it this structure now, who rotates with Kai?
Broja.
Okay, let's put him there.
Left yet.
Yeah, let's put him there as things progress in the transfer during the transfer window. If there's a need to change anything, we will change it. So let's keep it like this. Again, it wasn't like this before. We made a few changes. We learned that Baxter went out on loan, or he was sold or something. We changed it. And again, I think it makes sense. That's why we say we're not done. We're not going to say we're done building the lineup until the transfer window shuts. So again, with that, I think we're done with this at the moment. Anybody has any comments regarding the lineup as it is right now?
Yeah, I'm alright. I mean, it's probably going to look nothing like this, but yeah.
We'll see. Again, I want to say thank you for 138 likes, and we still have 128 people watching. If you haven't, please take a second to like the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Now, coming back to the panel, something I want us to touch because we have a few minutes left before the end of the show. And I'll start with you, Bobby. The talks and that I think, Ty, correct me if I'm wrong, can you refresh me on what you said about Kante? Ty, you there or you gone? So what I'm hearing is that that Kante now is allowed to talk to other clubs. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Did you hear that as well? And your thoughts on that?
I haven't heard that at all. In fact, to the contrary, I've heard that Tuchel wants to use Kante as a mainstay in his new team. He wants to build around him, especially in midfield. I don't know how, because Kante definitely is not going to give us the number of games that he gave us in previous seasons.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, Bobby, who's the other player we build around with when he's not playing?
Well, this is it. This now you're coming into my territory. This is it.
Now look, I actually was criticised for saying that Kante probably has to go. He's got 1 year left, doesn't play all the games, and with Lukaku gone now, he is the highest paid player. If he leaves, that opens up a lot of doors.
The truth is, though, declared, okay, Kante has to go, right? Basuma has gone off.
No, it has to go. Either he's signed on a low wage or or maybe have
Well,
to leave. That's
Why
what I
would
think.
he?
For
I can
who?
assure you,
Because-
even though he studied, how old is he right now? There will be no shortage of,
I don't think anyone will
interest
give
for
him
his
that money.
signature.
What are we How are we thinking? Who's going to replace him? We should be thinking replacements before we think
Savic.
sales. Who's out there?
Savic.
Who's out? Sorry?
Do you have him?
De
No.
Jong? We're not
No, you
even
don't.
talking
Exactly.
to.
You don't have Savic already.
All right, hold on. Let me say
There you
again.
go.
If you get rid of Kante is almost 2 players worth. He's with his wage and,
You're
and
making
whatever
it
he can.
worse. Yeah.
I know, but look, you can bring in 2 players for Kante, and you can get someone consistent.
Who are we bringing in? We know we
We
can,
are bringing,
but we're not.
Bobby. We are bringing everyone. We are linked to everyone.
Well, we're not doing
we're
anything.
bringing Ampadu. That's what we're doing.
The young
I mean-
is twerking for anybody who's prepared to pay his wages and
That's
free
a good
him
shout,
from
Bobby.
and free him from a destiny of Man United and Champions Leagueless and a season without Champions League or 2. He's desperate for that. All that stuff of I want to stay at Barcelona. The subtext to that is, look, I don't mind leaving Barcelona if a decent team, a half decent team, can come and pay my wages that I want. That's what it is, and we're doing nothing. We've watched Calvin Phillips go. We've watched Basuma go. At the moment, Declan Rice is out of reach, and the longer we leave it, the more Everton are going to stick to his price and even higher. We haven't been talking to Sangare. We have not made any moves in midfield. So talking about getting rid of Kante makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. It's madness.
But Bobby, it's being forced.
By who?
So, by the player and the club, right? Because he's gone into the final year. So this is our lost opportunity to put him on a new contract, right? Or have to lose him for nothing if he stays. So ideally, do you sell him to get something for him? He's on his wages. He's our highest paid player as well, and he lacks consistency. So that's a bit of an issue as well. I mean, is that a problem? That's why I said if he resigns, we give him maybe a longer contract that he might seek for, but on a lower wage. That would help. I mean, his wages can block some of the people we're trying to get in, because that has been a problem at our club. The wage distribution isn't right. It's imbalanced on who performs for us. So, and this is Jorginho's problem too. He is in the same boat. He's in his final year. These 2 players either have to sign or maybe leave. That's basically what's going on.
Have they been given something to sign? Have they been offered anything?
We don't know.
Oh, well, I don't think this is really an issue. I don't think it's on the table. I've not heard it, but even if it's out there, it's not on the table. It makes no sense. The midfield needs help desperately. The way to do it is not by getting rid of the one player that you have that could possibly do something, even if he's half a player. I'm not buying that story at all. Jorginho, yes, perhaps, maybe. And even then it's a maybe. But Kante, nah, I'm not buying it. I think it's a rumor. I think it's, Chelsea sells. And at the moment, Chelsea bad news sells even more. So people like to peddle it. It makes no sense. It's illogical. And I know that they're not doing anything, but I don't think they're that stupid. Perhaps they are. I don't know yet.
I think it's a problem come from the older, maybe the former ownership, and maybe they're offering him, or maybe they've already decided not to, or maybe the players have decided Kante don't want to stay.
Kante would not. I would ready to bet money. Kante would not push for a move out of Chelsea.
Bobby, for me, Kante just sits there and smiles. I have no idea how he goes on what he wants.
Yeah, I think let's actually be truthful. Again, it's all we've talked about this before. It's all business for players as much as it's business for the clubs. We must know that. Go ahead, Tobago, and I'll join you as soon as the show is done. And we're going to be done in a bit. We don't have too much time left. Here's the thing. Again, Kante, like I said, that is football is business for the players as much as it is business for the club.
Yeah, and Chelsea's doing good business with Kante. That's why he's the highest paid player. Why does he want to leave?
Yeah, he will leave if, for instance, Chelsea, tries to extend his contract just for 1 year, and there's another club willing to give him 3 years with more money.
Look, contract being the operative word. He's under contract. He can run down his contract. That's his prerogative. But at the moment, he's under contract. And at the moment, we cannot afford to let him go. The midfield is a problem. And until we get players in, we cannot be talking about getting rid of N'Golo Kante. That is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. And it can only ever come out of Chelsea fans. How can you talk like that? Get rid of N'Golo Kante. For who? We're not talking to anybody. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God!
I'm sorry.
We're gonna be left disappointed, Bobby.
Raphael Bocco, I want to ask you. You said big news, Sterling. Here we go. Let me know. Elaborate so we can know what you're talking about. And showing the Twitter feeds of what some of the biggest names are that carries the news, and that we haven't seen anything. Ty, you were saying something.
Sterling.
I was saying he's gonna be left disappointed.
Who's going to be disappointed?
Who?
About Kante.
Oh, you think Kante?
Ty, can you talk about it? Can you tell me what we discussed? What was that again?
N'Golo Kante. We all know that he has 1 year left on his contract. So obviously, Tuchel, who values him, wants him to stay. However, there hasn't really been any progress in him, extending. And one of the sole reasons is that he's weighing up his options. If he eventually makes a decision where, he wants to say, I have spent up to 6 years at this club, and I think it's time for me to try and find a different challenge, because he's practically won nearly everything, if not everything possible at Chelsea. So I think in that sense, he has been allowed to speak to different clubs, if it's necessary, and if he eventually chooses to have an exit. And I mean, unfortunate as it is, it looks as if he could be leaving in the near future. And one of the teams that he's been allowed to speak to is Ten Hag's new team, Man United. It's shocking and it sounds a bit odd, but I mean, it's something that has been revealed in some places. I'm not sure when other people say it. I'm not sure if Matt Law or anybody else will say it soon, but it's something that has been looked at, and it's something that has been discussed. And Ten Hag himself has been impressed with him, and I think a lot of managers have that attraction to Kante, and they've always found his personality fascinating. And Ten Hag in the past wanted him at Ajax. Obviously, the situation that they have right now is a case where they're trying to find midfielders that actually can win the ball back, and in some cases, expand on the midfield that they have, because the midfield is a bit lacking because they're starting to lose a lot of players. So I think at that time he wanted him there, and obviously with Matic leaving Man United, it's something that I think they're probably looking at Kante as a ball-winning midfielder and saying that maybe he could be an answer per se, because even though he wants young, or the club wants to bring the young, it's not going to be a one man that's going to be resolving their midfield issues. So they're looking at as many options as possible. And right now they're looking at a minimum of 2 players, and Kante has been discussed as another potential player that could actually go to the club. I'm not sure if Chelsea will allow that to happen, but it's something that has been allowed on Kante's side.
Luis, you have anything to add to that? You are aware of any news that Kante may be leaving the club?
Just what Taya said is now allowed to speak to people and voicing Bobby's concerns about why are we losing Kante when we actually don't have anyone on paper who is a good enough replacement. Sure, we know that Kante is no longer giving us the number of games he used to, which would make us open to like losing him. But who on paper do we have that could replace him? Consistency is one thing, but at the end of the day, do you really want to downgrade just because you get more games from another player? So, and most coaches love Kante. The only issue that Kante has, which is unfortunate, is his injuries. And I feel like the kind of player he was when he was like younger, years ago, 5 years ago, he put everything on the line. He was playing like he had the energy of multiple people, and I think that's what is happening right now. That's what is holding him back in his career right now. He wasn't conserving energy. He was just playing, 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 and now his body, you can't cheat nature. His body is trying to tell him to take things easy. So you can't lose Kante, but at the same time, you don't know what you are getting with Kante. You don't know if you are getting half a season, a quarter of a season. So it feels like you definitely should be looking towards trying to replace him before you let him go.
Yep. Declan, do you want to
Is
add
there something
anything
that
to
you
that?
can say about that though?
Go ahead, Ty. What did you say?
Isn't there a reason for all this injuries that he's picking up? I mean, well, it's only speculations on my part, but I do think that, I mean, the only two midfielders that you see consistently getting injured is Kovacic and Kante, and if I'm not wrong, they're the ones that actually take those big risks of going forward, pushing themselves forward, trying to progress the ball forward. You rarely see Jorginho being a risk taker. He's always if he does go forward, that's with if Kovacic is hitting back or Kante is hitting back. Jorginho is not a risk taker in that regard, where he'll just progress up the field and try to do things. So in most cases, you'll see him right in the center circle, trying to support the other defenders. Obviously, he hasn't really been doing that. So is it not a case where you can say that Kante has been overused because you don't have that player you can rely on. If he's not playing, you have someone who can win the ball back as well, offload the ball, and play the ball into the attackers or the supporting strikers or whatever you want to call them. So I
That's
do.
what.
Go ahead, Louisa. You wanted to say something?
No, let Ty finish what he was trying to say.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that basically if Kante is not playing, there's little risk, and the thing is, you notice even when he was doing poor against Man United, and I think he had a deflection, and then Ronaldo scored after that. The little mistakes that if he makes it, and it's similar with Jorginho. If Jorginho makes those little mistakes, it can cause the team. And Kovacic in some cases, if he makes a bad pass, it can lead to goals. And I think he played a role in the goal that Leicester City scored against us, in the closing end of the season. So the fact is, when there's over-reliance on these players, they get overplayed. And, I think Tuchel has this sentiment part of him, looking at the fact that Kante was so key in the Champions League win last season. Like he's saying that I need Kante to be playing these games. And even in games where you could trust other players, he doesn't trust them because he's saying that I need my best players. And even when Kante looks as if he's drained, we still play him, and that's why I think that Kante is going to be suffering, because we've seen under Sarri as well. Sarri used him in a sense as a box-to-box and a ball-winning midfielder, and then now that has instilled in him. So now it's difficult to break it out of him, because he has this feeling that he needs to be doing both jobs. So he needs to be pressing high, he needs to be progressing the ball forward as much as possible. And then when he does that, we have one midfielder, and then you have maybe two defenders sitting back. So I think in that case, I think it's a case where you don't really have somebody who can actually benefit him and reduce the amount of reliance that you have on a Kante or a Kovacic. And I think that if you get a DM or somebody who can actually sits deep and win the ball back, it can benefit Kovacic, because I would hate to see us waste another midfielder in his prime. Because we did it with Kante. I don't want to see we do it with Kovacic, because Kovacic can be key in the offensive part, and he can create for us. And we've seen that he can create, because he's created for Kovacic, not Kovacic, for Kai Havertz. When Lukaku was at the club, he was key, as well as Krasnodar on getting him chances, and he's always the one doing it. So I think the important things that you get a midfielder to minimize the amount of job that they have to do, because if they have to be doing the offensive and the defensive most of the game, and Jorginho is not really doing what he used to do, then clearly it's going to become an issue, and they're going to become the ones that are going to get injured, because they're going to be the ones that get those big tackles made on them.
Yeah, Nicola, do you want to come in?
I mean, Ty did a good sum up, to be honest. I mean, end of the day, the amount of Ks that Kante puts on the pitch is, people call him superhuman, but I don't think he's superhuman when it comes to the deterioration of running so much. I mean, it's the players that look after themselves that probably don't have to run to make up, for so much of ability wise, like Kante does, and that's probably why Kante is suffering. I mean, I'm wondering, he could be in decline. Kante could get a lot worse. I mean, the international games, they never gave him a break. We're gonna have more games than ever, and then it's outside of that I keep bringing up. I know. I never said anything about Kante's ability, one of the best players. But when it comes to trying to bring players in, that's when his wages and whether he runs down his contract comes into play. But if he sticks around, that's great. If he re-signs and if he can stay fit, he'll be a great asset to us. So that's where I'm at with Kante.
As for me, I will always reference, I think we seem to easily forget that he's a big game player. We won the Europa Cup with a half-fit Kante. We won the Europa the Champions League with the Kante who's not fully fit. I don't know why it's easy to forget. And I think the club understands that. And I'm still thinking maybe this whole talk of him leaving the club are just absolute nonsense. No, there's no substance to that rumor. Again, but we'll see what happens. I says that after the Pogba documentary, I don't think Kante will come close to Manchester United. Can you elaborate on that? Does anybody on the panel understand why the IC said that? Sevilla will make it clear to Barcelona that 45 million is not enough for Jules Kounde. Again, they're just everywhere, bidding on lower prices for every player we want to buy. DJ, thank you for that update, by the way. But again, I just don't know what's wrong with Barcelona. Let's hijack Frankie. Yeah, hijack is our name. And then in the end, it falters and everybody started, again, we should have solved this midfield problem a year ago. Again, that's your argument. Now, coming back to the panel, Louisa, let me start with Ty. Ty, your final thoughts on everything that we've talked about today. Ty, have we lost you? Okay, while I'm waiting for Ty, let me come to you. Declare your final thoughts on everything we've talked about today.
I would like to say have patience, but Bobby's not the only one that I think is really upset and concerned.
Simon Phillips is losing hopes.
I think there's more and more people every day that are getting really frustrated, and it's hard for me to say, be patient, but I feel like signings are coming, and I think once it does, I think people will be really happy. So I'm waiting for that, and that could be today. So I'm keeping a lookout. That could happen tonight. We might get a here we go or something like that. Maybe get Ronaldo in. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not gonna allow Bobby to be the one to end this one, but to us, so I'm gonna come to you. Just hit us with it, Bobby. Your final thoughts on everything we talked about today.
I am concerned. I am. Raheem Sterling, okay, doesn't fill me with any sort of excitement whatsoever. I don't think he's going to be our answer if we don't resolve the areas that we have gaping holes. And what I am looking for is movement in the defensive areas and in midfield areas where we clearly have the problem. I'm tired of hearing we're talking to this, we're talking to that, we're close to this, we're close to that. It makes no sense whatsoever. And now that pre-season has started, we're into stubborn territory, what I call stubborn territory. Clubs are not going to go cheap anymore, as you can see from Sevilla, and you will find with West Ham. West Ham like to have their team ready and in order for pre-season. And if we don't sort out Declan Rice before the end of pre-season, it's over. They're going to be asking for at least 130 to 150 million to compensate them. So we're not, our wasting time is not just about fans concerned because we're being we're being out strengthened by our competition, but it's also the fact that the more you wait, the less you do. That's how the transfer market works. So all this hope for suddenly there's going to be all these signings coming in, I'm struggling to see it. Unless agreements have already been made that we don't know about, I'm struggling to see it. I don't see us making midfield moves. Yes, okay, people have made their case about Kante. Fair enough. I believe that Tuchel should be able to manage Kante because when he's good, he's very, very good. And that just simply means that he doesn't have to play all the time. Neither should he at his age. But we don't have that strength in depth. That's why we overplay him. And we don't have that strength in depth because we're not looking for midfielders. So that's it. I mean, we're swimming in treacle. You know, we haven't really moved an inch forward to yesterday. Though we're all looking, hoping and waiting. But with every passing day, more and more Chelsea fans will not find it funny, and they will not speak kindly about it either.
Yep. Louisa, your final thoughts?
Yeah, concerning the Ronaldo to Chelsea, I feel like I'm with Declared on this one. The entertainment value of Ronaldo coming to Chelsea is going to be a nice one. It's going to be entertaining to see what the rival fans, how they view it, how Chelsea fans view it also. But at the same time, it's not someone you want to build around. The fact of De Ligt, Koulibaly, I feel like it's going to be an either-or situation because if we do get De Ligt, Juve would want to get Koulibaly to replace De Ligt, so we'll probably get one of the other. Then, if we're talking about the midfields, when it comes to Kante, definitely we need to get a decent player who can come in and rotate with Kante because Kante is a big game player. He's very good, according to Bobby. He's good when he's good, but you can't expect because I think we played close to 60 games this season and we didn't even make it to the semi-finals and the final of the Champions League. There's going to be enough game time to go around. If you because it's a World Cup year, you really don't even want to go hard in most of your games till after the World Cup. So you need anybody that is coming in to be Kante's number 2 is going to see at least 25 to 30 games to play in. So it's not a matter of game time. If you do come in, you are going to see that minutes. And it goes to what Bobby is speaking. I know Bobby is kind of at that overreacting territory, but at the same time, you still need to see some movement from the club to be confident that something is going on. It feels like nothing is going on, but at the same time, it's a big club. No way they are sitting on their hands. They are getting some deals done that we don't know about, but there still needs to be a way for them to be like, okay, you need to drop something for the fans to be like, okay, something is going on. It does feel frustrating that we're getting slowed down, but at the same time, if you notice, most of the people we want, most of the people we've gone after, Barcelona has been just right there trying to behave like I don't know what they're even doing anymore, because it's not making any sense. The players they want to keep. It feels like almost all our deals are being hampered by Barcelona right now. The Conde deal, the Raphinha deal, the Dembele deal. I'm surprised they've not gone in for Sterling too. So we should be able to bring in players. My only concern is that because we are bringing in we are probably going to bring in a lot of players, like compared to last season where we had most of our team stay intact. We just had Lukaku in August or September, then we had Saul in January. Because we are going to bring in a lot of players, I really want these players to be with us for preseason. I don't want them coming in August when the season has started, or September when we've already played some amount of games already. I want them in preseason. That's my only concern. I know we're definitely bringing in players, but I do want them in preseason. I want them to play matches so we can see where they are at. We can know what's changing. Maybe somebody's role might change within the game. Might even see some players playing in different positions than they naturally would have played in. So that's the only concern I have right now of this signing. Preseason, we need preseason. We need to determine what's going on with the team. We're having like at least we're going to have like 5 new players within our first 11, players that were not in the first 11 because we're losing, we've lost, what's his name? We've lost Rudiger, we've lost Christensen, we're probably losing Alonso and Aspi. Those ones are still dependent on Barcelona getting their acts together. So we do need a preseason to kind of determine, okay, this is our expectation for the season. You even need a preseason to determine if you might be selling some people and bringing in somebody else that you didn't think you were going to bring in, because you need to test the guys that come back from loan to see, okay, are they ready to come into the first team now, or they are still going to go back out on loan. Those are just the things that are the concern we have right now. If not, I don't think, like Bobby said, we should be looking at the bottom 3 if we don't do anything. There's no way Chelsea doesn't make top 10 even with the players we have right now.
Oh my goodness! You need to see Bobby's tweets. We'll go follow him, by the way. Again, thank you very much to everybody on the panel. And if you haven't, please go check out. You see their Twitter handles. Check out Bobby Twitter. Bobby the Smoky Signal. I think that's the only Twitter page with that name. You see Luisa Soldado, you'll find him. Declad, you'll find him, and Ty, you'll find him. And also go check out Ty's YouTube channel and make sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. I want to say thank you to everybody on the panel. But again, I want to ask us all to calm down. I think it'd be stupid if, in fact, the club are not well at work behind the scenes. I think they are. We just don't know everything. I think if you ask me, most of the concerns of Chelsea fans is just simply because they don't know what's going on. That's what the concerns stem from. It's not because the club aren't really doing anything. They are. We only heard about how close we were to signing Raphinha just the moment we hijacked the deal. That's when we heard about it. We didn't even know we were planning to go put in a bid. But in most cases, you hear Chelsea are planning to go put in a bid, like in the case of the Ligt, and so which may well be all nonsense. For instance, we heard that we've signed Dembele for 5 years, which now we're finding out that isn't the case. So all I want to say is just calm down. It'd be really stupid if they are not well and truly hard at work behind the scenes. We don't just have to know everything, which I think is the case of the Chelsea fans. They just are frustrated. Again, it's only natural for that to happen because these are people that love the club wholeheartedly and are concerned that they're not going to do well if they, don't assign players. Again, Bobby, you should see the messages in the chat when you were blasting your frustration. Some of them were saying, calm down, Bobby, chill, Bobby, everything will be all right, Bobby. But it's all love here. That's one thing I love the most. With that, I want to say thank you to everybody on the panel and to those in the chat, from King Slayer Just Viola, again, my Niger brother, Adelio Emmanuel, and Liam Lane, always here supporting the channel. Again, True Blue was here, and the queen of the house, Just Viola herself, and Chama Joseph Nedalo, my own sister. I sincerely do appreciate you finding time to join. Ike, Icy, Pac-Man, and everyone else. If I miss your name, my apologies. I'm only human, and I hope to see you guys later today for the evening show or tomorrow for another Blue Moon show. Thank you very much, and God bless us all, and bye.